I could say like I wonder how different it would be somewhere else. Because I think for Chicago comics, you probably don't need that much. I wonder how much more you would need for like someone in LA or New York. I wonder if they're as much of like a podcast whore.
Yeah, I think there's probably more
layers.
Serious ones.
Yeah, because I mean,
there's not many like super serious Chicago comedy podcasts.
Not ones that feature guests that focus on the guests. Like that doesn't exist. There's Chicago podcasts, but there's not Chicago podcasts that like feature guests that focus on the guests and they're like known for doing that. Mm-hmm. And I wish there were. Like it's actually kind of surprising that there's not. So because that's something I've been thinking about lately is like because I've thought somebody needs to fill that hole, and it's almost like it just drives me crazy because I feel like I'm the only person that even thinks to do something like that, and there's not that many people doing that. And it's not even like an ego thing. I'm just surprised. Like I would think that there'd be more people if you're working in any industry, any community, you'd want to like build up the industry and community around you to therein build yourself up and make yourself better. Mm-hmm. But that's not how people work. That's not how anybody works. Everybody's constantly all the time thinking, oh, but like, how's this an opportunity for me? Yeah. That's how people think. And I've tried to understand it because I realized I'm just weird and I just think backwards. And that's I'm the crazy one.
I also think a big part of it is like people are scared to ask.
Yeah, when they don't realize that like
in terms of you're talking about like, why aren't there more interview podcasts that are built on that as a principle?
Yeah.
I think it's just because people are like, one, I'm not going to be able to find enough people, which it's like, yes, you are. You'll find plenty of people. There's going to be plenty of people that want to come on your podcast. And two, feeling like, oh, I'm not going to be able to ask people. It's like, dude, people don't care. Well, they'll either say yes or no, but
comedians,
they're not going to be mad about it.
They have all these connections they don't even realize they have, too. Like, if you're talking about, like, podcast guests, like, a comedian will work with the most random person that just comes into the city and, oh, look, you're, like, working with this person who has this giant following. You just happen to be on their show. That's like an excellent opportunity if you have a fucking interview thing. Hey, you want to just pass them the mic while you're in the green room? And hey, do you want to just do like a thing for my Patreon for 5 minutes? Even that. Like you could just throw stuff like that is so easy. You don't realize the connections that are around you. Because comedy in particular, like comedy is it's like a spider web, and it's so layered in the ways that it's about there's no actual steps to a comedy career. Like comedy success is weird, and comedy is like I think there's so many more layers to like who you know than it would be like in the music industry, where it's like, you know, in comedy you could work with the most random people and you get booked all the time, and you have this giant web of people that you know. Whereas music, it's more like you have 5 guys that are your best friends, or like 10 musicians you work with, and that's it. You know, I feel like the industry is so different, and the way people communicate with each other is so fundamentally different.
Yeah, especially at like entry level. Yeah. Like a comics sorry, let me.
Oh, you're good.
Freaking turn this thing off.
I don't know if my sound's on. But yeah,
I turned my phone off, dude. I'm
the whole thing.
Yeah, dude. I don't fuck around.
But anyway, the entry level for comedy.
Yeah, requires a lot more of that, like, interaction with other people doing it. Yeah. So music, that's what I liked about going to, like, that music open mic. And music, in my experience, wasn't... I mean, people, you do that, but it's not as integral. Like, when you're a comic, hanging out with other comics is literally part of your writing process.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Like it has to, it literally has to be. There you have no choice because you have to go to open mics when you start out. Right. And there will be other comics there. So it's just like, it is a part of the actual process of what you're creating. Whereas in music, other than the collaborative of the band and producers you're working with on the project, it's really, that relationship is strictly about getting booked, basically.
Yeah.
So it's actually less... Weirdly, I think comics crap on themselves a lot, but the music industry is almost it's even faker. As much crap as comics like to give each other, but in music, it's literally like the only reason I was even seeing it at the mic is like there's these two people interacting, and I'm like, you're literally only interacting because you hope you can get booked. And comics will say that about each other all the time, and it's like, no. Also, sometimes you're interacting because you have to be around each other all the time, or because you're trying to give them a tag or whatever. Like,
yeah.
You know, it can be other things.
You're right. So I feel like I did everything right. And the reason I feel like this is because earlier when we were talking, we said like there's not very many music open mics. Because there's not. And so when I moved to Chicago, I was looking around like, oh, where's all these music open mics? And I waited a while. I waited like a year after I moved here. So I moved here like June 2023, I want to say. Yeah. And then so like a year after that, probably around October, I finally go to an open mic, but it's not even, I think I like stopped by one music open mic before I even moved here when I was visiting. And that one closed shortly after I moved here. It was somewhere in like Lincoln Park, I want to say. I just don't know where exactly. It was somewhere in that neighborhood. But it was, but I remember when I went in there, it was almost like jazzy and like bluesy, and I was like, oh, I don't know if I would. I'm sure I would have been fine, but I just didn't even know how I was going to approach that. I didn't know how I was going to dazzle those people, and that didn't exist anymore. So I'm looking around. You go on the internet; it's hard to find anything. So then I found like an all arts mic, which was really just a comedy mic, and that's kind of how I stumble into everything, like talking to comedians and meeting comedians and going to comedy mics and rapping essentially. And I think that's better than if I had ever gone to like one of these hip hop mics, because I'm almost positive these are all circle jerks. I'm almost positive every single one of these things is going to be a guy goes on stage. He just raps in this mediocre way that's really not that impressive, but his friends are there. So his friends are like, oh, fuck yeah, dude. Mm-hmm. And that's the whole thing. And to me, that's boring. And I actually like that comics, like, you're supposed to fail and you're not encouraged if you do badly. And I feel like I'm fighting against all odds every time I perform at any open mic, because I'm not even supposed to be there. Mm-hmm. And I prefer that so much more than if I go to one of these things and it's so self-congratulatory and book me and hey, aren't we all friends? I don't want to do that. Like, that's all weird to me. I don't even like that. I'd rather prove that I'm cool and like have you like me genuinely than have this weird thing where I feel like it's just I know exactly what you're talking about, because I know that musicians are more like that, and I don't think comics are like that so much. Like, comics are like that, but you're right, they don't give themselves enough credit. Like,
they tend to be way more.
They're a much better hang, that's for sure. Yeah, they're just easier to talk to. That's another thing is I like having comedians as a guest on a podcast, because what I've learned is I used to talk to more musicians, just because that was like the main thing before I even moved here. And it's almost like comedians, I think there's a reason they do radio, they do podcasts, they do all this. It's because they are just riffing and thinking all the time. That's what they like to do. Yeah. Whereas musicians aren't, they're kind of like in their head about everything.
Yeah, and I think there's such a mystique involved in music.
Yeah. There's like you're trying to be a persona.
Yeah, and also like when you're in a band, you worry about like, okay, what does this do, and reflect on your band.
Right.
You know, the only thing is with my band, I just told them from the beginning, I was like, I'm also a comic. Yeah. They all know that. Like, my lead singer is my best friend.
Yeah.
And so they all know that, and I was like, I'm gonna do stuff that's probably like not necessarily represent your beliefs and things, and like, but just know that has nothing to do with the band, and I think that's like okay. I think people, as unnuanced as people like to believe the world is, I think it is actually pretty, like, people can understand that. Like, understand that if I'm a comic and I make a joke that doesn't reflect on
the band.
Yeah. But my point being is a lot of musicians have to have a certain coolness. Like, I even said that to the guy I was talking to at book club, where I was like,
Oh, you're good.
I was like, it's
I was
hard
looking
to,
for my fucking hat, dude. Every time. So, guys, if my hair doesn't look cool right now, it's because I didn't have my hat nearby. You know what? You keep talking. I'm gonna grab that hat over there.
What kind of hat do you need?
My hair gets fucked up naturally, and I don't know if it's fucked up right now or not. So I'm just gonna bank on the hat.
Why do you think your hair gets fucked up?
Cause dude, it's just too long. I need a haircut. So I'm gonna admit this on camera.
What's the longest you've ever had your hair?
Oh, long. Like here in middle school is like here and down here, but that was on purpose. Like right now this is my problem is I haven't gotten a haircut from a barber since I was like 8. My mom always cuts my hair. It's either my mom or my sister, and I feel like at this point it's like I have to do that.
But you don't.
Yeah, I think I do.
But like,
I don't know how to explain it.
You really don't have to do that.
I'm gonna see my mom in like 2 weeks, so it's all good. You know, she's gonna cut my hair, folks. Pretty soon on Ruse Radio, you'll
see. Is she a hairdresser or something?
No, she does not cut hair at all.
My mom used to cut my hair for a long time.
I don't know what it is. Yeah,
and then I turned 12.
I can't change. I don't know what it is. It's the kid in me, all right? You got to stay in touch with the kid in you, and for me, it's haircuts with my mom.
That's a good way. What I'll do sometimes is when I'm walking down the street, I'm sure everyone does this, but I'll jump and hit the tree.
Ooh, jump and hit the tree.
That's one of my ways of maintaining my...
That's good. Well, I remember one thing. I took like a gram of mushrooms, and my friend was visiting, and I think this is why it like even was a thought of mine that it was just a gram of mushrooms, because normally I wouldn't even have thought much of it. But I remember we were walking, and he like slapped the wall, and I remember thinking like, why did you slap the wall? And like I thought about that for a long time, because it is like hitting the tree. It's the same exact thing. Like there's no real reason to slap the wall.
It's childhood.
It feels good.
Yeah,
and I slap walls all the time. Like when I'm going down the staircase at my work, there's a corner where it's like you can just hit it, you know, you can slap it so good on the way down, and I like to slap that thing all the time.
Yeah, dude.
Because it's like, you know, it's funny if you're a tall person, because you actually like hurt yourself with those things. If you are too high up, you could hurt yourself because these corners, you know, you bonk your head. I think I've seen that before. Or like those little hanging things when you're walking in a house, you know, sometimes they'll have the ceilings like this, but then they have one piece that hangs down. So if you're a tall person, that's actually a hazard.
Oh, yeah. I wonder how, because are we still getting taller?
Well, are we? That's a good, like, you know, biologically over time.
Because I know we got taller since... Like, people always talk about how they were so short back in the day.
Well, if you think aliens are future humans, then the answer is no. But if you think that, if you're just going off the prior...
future humans, do we already know their height?
Well, aliens are short. Like, in every representation, aliens are short.
No, sometimes they're all long and gangly, dude.
But short, man. No. I feel like okay, maybe I'm just thinking the Greys. Maybe I'm just thinking of a specific alien. I'm just going to look up are aliens short.
Alien are tall from Alien.
From Alien, but that's like a science fiction movie that's not trying to...
That's not real.
It's not a real alien. It's not about real aliens, man. Hold on.
I'm talking about real aliens, dude.
Be realistic.
Don't bring up that bullshit.
That's a fucking movie.
yeah, that's a movie, dumbass.
Yes, the most famous type of alien is indeed short. When pop culture references short aliens, it is usually talking about the Grey. Look at me.
Yeah, short aliens. It says short aliens. That means there are aliens that are tall.
Yeah, but oh my gosh, it even says if you were thinking of the creature from Ridley Scott's Alien franchise, the xenomorph is actually quite tall. A standard human-spawned xenomorph stands between 7 and 8 feet tall, towering over an average person.
How tall was the Grey again?
3 to 5 feet.
So that means, yeah, the average is about 6 foot.
Oh my God, there's no average, dude. These are different species.
The average alien is about the size of like a point guard in the NBA.
The average alien, like even that phrase, that's like saying like the average everything that's not this.
That is what I'm saying. I think everything in the universe that isn't us is about 6'2".
That's just like, that's like saying the average star is like 200 times the size of the sun. Like, that fact doesn't mean anything. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, it means that the average star is 200.
You're upsetting me right now.
I disagree with
You're upsetting me right now. Because I'm trying to have a serious conversation with you about aliens.
About aliens.
And I feel like you're making a joke
Have you done much alien research?
Research.
Dude, I gotta say this.
Research is a funny way to put it.
Yeah, I brought up MK Ultra like as a joke at work in front of like two of my coworkers. They're both younger than me, and I was kind of like, I said something about, one of them had asked me earlier. They were like, which I maybe shouldn't have been honest, but they asked like if I'd done hallucinogens, and I was like, yeah, of course. Like, just immediately without thinking, I was like, yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
Like, but I didn't think
One
about
time I had a boss who said to me, do you smoke weed? And I said, yeah, obviously.
Yeah,
and he
yeah.
said, be careful who you say that to. Like, immediately he was shocked that he was cool about it.
Yeah.
But he did not expect me to be so honest. He's my boss.
Yeah, people don't expect the honesty. But I brought up MK Ultra, like, as a joke, something about, like, I was like, oh, you got like MK Ultra or whatever. They were like, what's that? And I was like, oh, it's like the thing where the CIA gave people acid and like tried to break them.
Yeah. But these people are
she was
uninitiated.
Like,
they don't know.
I was like, did you see the Men Who Stare at Goats? And they were both like, no. I was like, all right, well, watch that.
Yeah.
That's real.
But this
That
is right
happened.
after you told them you took hallucinogenic drugs.
Yeah. But I was like, it is real. I was like, they've like admitted to a lot of it. Like, it's not even hidden. They're not even hiding it.
Yeah, that's the first thing I would always say. I would say, like, yeah, they gave people LSD. Look it up. It's real. I swear to God, I'm not making this up. Like, that's the first thing I would try to make sure they know, because I know it always sounds crazy, but that's like actually, like, that's kind of been known for a while now, even, I feel like. Like, that's like the last 10 years. Like, Netflix made a thing on that 10 years ago or something.
Yeah.
Like a whole show.
It's definitely been known. Well, but that's the kind of thing I was saying to someone earlier. I was like, the government doesn't even need to hide it from us. I was like, dude, you can look it up. I used to have a joke about it. It never worked because maybe I should go back to it. But I found the patent number for the weather control machine.
Oh, really?
They have it.
They
it's
have,
patented.
yeah. Well, I mean, they did it for the Olympics.
Yeah.
They controlled the weather for the Olympics.
Like,
And-
they know they have it. You can look it up. And it's just like weather control.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't say it in those words. You know, it has a whole fancy
Isn't it from
title.
the 40s or 50s or 60s? I can't remember when.
Oh, well, there was
There was a reason for doing it
there
that
was
they made up.
a side. There's been cloud seeding for a long time.
Yeah,
And
and
that
that's
might be
the
what you're
whole
thinking.
cloud seeding is the whole chemtrail thing.
Yeah, cloud seeding is like basically they drop chemicals and stuff, and it makes it like rain.
Yeah.
I'm from a ski town, and so like our town used to always get in trouble for seeding because it steals all the water. Then there's like a desert on the other side of the mountain.
It's crazy. Well, what I think is crazy about it is just the idea that doesn't have an effect on the environment. Like, if you just pretend that that's not a big deal, then you can't address the fact that it has an effect on the environment. And so every now and then you'll have like people who are like whistleblowers who will come out and they'll just say, yeah, this is bad and this is a real thing. But then if you show somebody a video like that, you just look crazy. You look crazy and they look crazy because it all just looks like chemtrails to them.
Yeah,
so
it looks like conspiracy theory, and it's like it's not. Like the one I was talking about with the patent isn't even seeding. So cloud seeding's been around for a long time.
Yeah.
This one is like an electromagnet weather, like it makes tornadoes and shit.
Oh, Lord. That's real?
Yeah.
Oh, no. That's
Yeah.
bad.
Like it's
that
like
would be a good
high
war
powered,
weapon.
like it's a war. That is what it is.
Yeah, it has to be for war. Yeah, well, supposedly.
exactly what it
but
is.
that would be it. Yeah, because I mean, dude, you
think
fuck
it's
with us,
just
we send a tornado at you.
You think it's just a coincidence that we were fighting in sandy deserts, and then all of a sudden we invented a weapon that can create sandstorms? Essentially.
Well, I saw recently the whole.
Oh, sorry, not a weapon.
Not a weapon. Not a weapon.
Technically, I think just a magnet.
Yeah. A magical sandstorm magnet.
Yeah. It's
that's actually pretty sick.
It's a fun little breeze magnet.
Can I borrow it for a music video? That'd be cool. That'd be really cool. I mean, did they use that for the Mission Impossible movies? Because that would be cool too. I was just at work and I saw they actually did a chase sequence where it was a sandstorm, and I forgot about that, which is a great idea. A car chase in a sandstorm. Those movies are fucking awesome. But anyways, I remember seeing that people thought that the whole recent
Who
storm.
had a car chase in a sandstorm?
I think it was Mission Impossible 5. It was Rogue Nation.
Oh, was that the one where he was climbing the building, Dubai? Yeah, that one was sick.
Dude, I think that's my favorite. It's either that or the Scream movies. I gotta say, those are my two. I've got probably no. It's Mission Impossible. That's my favorite franchise for sure, and it's only because those movies are so sick. They're just so sick.
My roommate, one of my roommates, she fucking loves Mission Impossible.
There's like, I think
we've gotten in this argument because I contend that Riddick.
Oh, I haven't seen that, so I probably like that.
That's
But how many
my
Riddick movies are
trilogy.
there? 3?
There's 3. I think there's gonna be 4.
Okay, so if they do a 4th one and the 4th one holds up, that counts as a franchise. to me.
I liked the trilogy.
Yeah.
Because I felt comfortable saying greatest trilogy of all time.
And now there's a 4th one and you don't know how to feel.
And I don't know how to feel.
Yeah.
There was an animated one, which was dope. But that one, that counts as kind of a, that doesn't necessarily count as a feature length.
Yeah, it counts, but
It was like 45 minutes. It
Yeah.
wasn't even a full feature length.
but it was cool. Riddick is, who's the actor in that?
Vin Diesel.
Yes.
He's also the producer.
Really?
So he helped pay for it. Like it was him being like, I want to keep doing this.
That's cool. I remember there was a video game.
Yeah, and then he helped pay for the video game too.
Yeah.
This is my understanding. I haven't done the research, but
Vin Diesel's the man.
but my
People don't
understanding
understand.
my understanding is also that's one of the reasons he was doing Fast and Furious. So that he could pay for Riddick.
It's his passion project.
Yeah.
It's that good, huh? You like it that much?
It's really good.
All right, I'll watch it.
Pitch Black is a really, really great movie and a really good example of how to make a high quality, low budget, not like shoestring low budget, but a low budget film. That's the first one.
The first one. Pitch Black is the first Riddick movie.
Yeah, that's probably the best. If you're a film guy, that's usually the best one.
I mean,
and then the second one is the most probably one of the more. It's very large.
Mm-hmm. Well, they're scaling up after the first one.
The first one's very they're just on a desert planet the whole time. They did a good job with it, but it's very clear that it's basically 2 places.
Yeah.
And then the second one's much larger. They have aliens with big suits of armor.
They're gonna say big boobs the way that you.
I mean, they do also have that.
I really thought that's what you were gonna say.
They're called necromancers or something like that.
Necromancers
or something.
Necromancer aliens. So they
Their
raise
whole
things from
thing
the
is
dead.
that they're going through the galaxy to head back to I guess death.
Ooh.
And their leaders been to the other side or whatever.
They're going to
But
death.
Riddick's cool. Yeah, Riddick's great. He's got blue eyes the whole time.
Yeah.
And the whole thing, he's just I'm an animal.
Another movie I've been thinking about I really need to watch is Crank. You ever see those movies?
Yeah, so good.
I really need to rewatch those because I saw that when I was 8 or 9, and I don't think I really got it. And I've seen clips
Dude, that would have
recently.
been your favorite movie, the sex scene in Crank when you're 8 or 9. Oh, but you probably saw not the unrated version.
I feel like I just kind of caught it, and I was just like, "Oh, that's a thing." I don't think when I was 8 or 9 I got the gravity of the situation. Is what I'm saying. I feel like if I watch a scene like that now, I'm like, "Oh, this is brilliant." But
yeah,
back
but you
then,
weren't horned up.
No,
At 8 or 9
I was a
and there's
desensitized kid.
boobs?
I was desensitized. To me, I feel like that type of thing. I'm just thinking, this is a thing that occurs on a screen. That's how I'm thinking about it. Yeah, I didn't get all horned up from. That's not. I don't think a movie like Crank would have horned me up. I think I would just need to watch porn.
At 8 or 9?
Well, I don't think I was watching porn at 8 or 9.
That's my point. Is it
okay, maybe
like,
I exaggerated. Maybe I exaggerated. Maybe I had to be 13 then, because it was probably pre-porn me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I was going to be like, dude, that movie, if you saw that, because the lady in it's like a babe, too.
Yeah.
So I was like, when you were a kid, you would have been like, yo, you would have ruined that part of the freaking tape or CD from rewinding it.
You're right. Yeah, I never really had one of those. I think I just saw like tame sex scenes in movies, and then I just found porn one day. I remember when I had first watched porn, I was still in a bunk bed, so there was still like I was on a bottom bunk of a bunk bed, and I remember I still had my SpongeBob TV. Because I remember there was a SpongeBob TV in front of me, and I was like looking at porn on my phone. I remember also being like one of my first porn experiences, being a kid and looking at porn on my phone, and a spider like came down from the bunk bed. Like it was on the second.
You were on a bunk bed?
I was in the bottom bunk of a bunk bed. That's what I was saying.
Who's on the top?
Well, I'm hoping it was just me. I can't remember at this point. I was a kid.
Did someone live with you in that room?
At that point in time, I don't think so. Because I think at that point in time, no. I think I just still had the bunk bed, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I don't think so. I just can't remember. I just remember jerking off.
Can't remember if you lived with. You're lying. You know exactly who was there.
I remember my brother used to sleep in the room with me, but I don't think he slept in the room with me at that time because I used to have the top bunk, I think, and he was in the bottom bunk. So maybe somebody was in.
Maybe you just jerked off in your brother's bed, dude.
I don't think I think even if I was a kid.
You a freak.
No. You're getting me all wrong. I think if I was a kid, I think if I was jerking off, and I don't even think I would have the sound. Like if I would be conscious of the person above me.
Yeah, you would definitely. There's a kid with the balls to put in the earplugs, like in his first couple, is a monster. You would never do that. You would have to be muted. Like you said, you would be muted and you would be conscious of everything around you.
Yeah.
If you're going into porn and your first like experience with it is like full headphone blast, that's crazy. That's so bold.
Yeah, that would be so bold. Some people do that too. That's why I laugh, because I know that there's people out there who just do that. They're not even thinking about anything. They just do it. Like, that's the only way you do that. I think you don't think about anything else. You just go for it.
I remember, which isn't a great...
It's not a good sign. Big red flag for that person.
It's a huge problem.
Says a lot about you.
Yeah, I used to do the one headphone move.
One headphone's good. That's safe.
Yeah, I think I was a freaking...
Dude, I'll tell you another thing that was so embarrassing.
Just walking around. Yes.
That's smart. Because, like, okay, so one time, the computer used to be in my mom's room. So it's like I had to be in my mom's room to be on the computer. So I'm like 11-year-old me jerking off. And here I am with my pants at my ankles or whatever I'm doing, right? And I'm on the computer, and my stepdad gets home, and it's also his room. It's my stepdad and my mom's room. So, like, I didn't even really hear him get home. So he just opens the door, and immediately, like, I think I had a blanket, so I, like, throw the blanket up around me, and I close the thing. And then he's confused, and he figures out what's going on, and he just shames me immediately. He's like, "Oh, what the fuck? Oh, this is fucking gross. Get the fuck out of here. Oh, you fucking weirdo." Da 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 da. And so I'll never forget that moment because of how he shamed me. Like, he was not nice about it. And I just remember, it's probably the shame I needed in that moment, actually.
Yeah.
Probably exactly what I needed to hear.
It was like Batman.
Yeah, like trying to throw my disguise on.
It was the one you needed or whatever. Like this.
Oh yeah, I was thinking you meant how Batman changes his person, his who he is. He'll throw a costume on. Yeah. Well, because I was relating it to your one headphone thing. I think it's like you need if you're ever gonna do anything like that, you need a really good out immediately. If you are jerking off in a place you cannot be jerking off, and really I'm talking to like people who just discovered jerking off.
Yeah, I think that's when you're gotten caught.
If you're an adult and you're doing that, that's just weird.
I think I must have gotten caught because I used to do it on in the family.
I feel like a lot of boys have one of these stories.
Yeah.
Like, because the only reason I'm even thinking about it.
I remember ever being caught or my parents ever shaming me for stuff like that. I remember my dad subtly sometimes being like, yo, like, hey, what are you,
dude,
what are you doing? Or like, hey, there's a lot of like searches that are deleted.
That's what'll get you. Yeah. It's the searches. Because I was just thinking, like, it's the clues that other people will leave you. That's the stuff that it's like you feel weird about.
Nice.
So
I forgot I had this, dude.
Oh yeah.
You're such a what a great host, dude.
Thank you very much.
Cheers.
Thank you.
I'm about to fall asleep in the chair, though.
Feel free.
I regret not bringing socks, dude.
Yeah. Oh, my God. Honestly, I forgot to wear socks within the last 5 episodes or so, and I was like, God damn it, I revealed my feet again. I really try my best not to.
And also, it's like, there's no way I'm not gonna, like, pick my toes and be gross about it. That's the other thing, because that's, like, so gross is to, like, sit there and pick your toenails.
I always try to not.
And I would definitely, like...
There's all sorts of stuff I could do with my face that I try not to do. I'm like, oh, shit, there is a camera on me. Don't do that right now. You know, pick your nose, eat your boogers.
I'm worried my balls are going to fall out of these shorts.
Yeah, that angle might be an upskirt right there. Yeah. But I remember, so, because what you just said just reminded me. So I remember I was up north with my brother, and it was like my phone charger was fucked up. So it's like I couldn't charge my phone. So I had whatever battery I had left, and that was it. And I go to bed. I wake up. My phone is at like 1% battery, and when I open the browser, it's on porn. And my brother was up north with me, and my brother had taken the phone and gone into the outhouse and looked up porn and wasted my entire battery. And so I had to address the situation, and that was upsetting because it's like I didn't even want to. I would have just left. I would have just.
Is your brother older or younger?
Well, for the record, my brother had Asperger's and he was older, so I almost couldn't even blame him because people with Asperger's, they're a little impulsive. They're a little bit, you know, it makes sense he would do that.
I didn't know they were horned up.
Oh, it's almost like Asperger's and Downs are adjacent. Like people with Downs are horned up, and people with Asperger's, I would say, are horned up too. It's like they see a pretty girl, they're not afraid to say that they think she's a pretty girl type of thing. Like they'll just say like, oh, they'll just hit on her right there. Or like what my brother would do, he would tell people like jokes he read in porn magazines just as like casual conversation. And I always thought that was so funny.
That is really funny. Damn, I might have Asperger's.
He thought that was totally normal, dude.
I wouldn't think that was normal, but I would definitely do that.
Yeah, like it's funny as a bit, but it's even funnier if you're doing it and you're not self-aware to me. Because
potentially.
He didn't know, so he's like like girls will be like, oh, and he's just he's so into it. Yeah, he thinks he's charming them. But anyway, this motherfucker.
That's pretty awesome. That's actually kind of sick to be like. Yeah,
he thinks it's nice. A dub, like it's all going good.
Yeah, that's sweet to be like, I'm killing it.
I'm fucking killing.
I like anything that likes that. So they are adjacent because Down syndrome's like that too.
Yeah,
what's like the main?
And Asperger's is also a spectrum. So like there's people with Asperger's who have much strong, but even it's probably similar to, I would even say, like schizophrenia in the sense that schizophrenia has like. It's not specifically one thing. There's like a bunch of symptoms you can have that make you diagnosed as schizophrenic. I would think Asperger's might be the same, but I might be wrong. Where it's like I'll see people with Asperger's who, but I could be completely wrong. It might just be a spectrum where you might have it stronger than somebody else. But it's just like the traits for my brother were different than like Elon Musk has Asperger's, but Elon Musk is not like my brother. So. And I've met people with Asperger's throughout my life that were more like Elon Musk. Where like, I remember a girl I dated, her brother had Asperger's, and it was like the speech pattern is what... I remember hearing the speech pattern of my girlfriend's brother and thinking, oh, like, and I knew he had Asperger's. I remember thinking, oh, Elon Musk probably has Asperger's. And then Elon Musk came out and said he had Asperger's like a few years later. It was like, oh, anybody who knew somebody with Asperger's could have told you that. Because it's like a very specific, like... matter-of-factly way of talking that's almost like awkward sounding. It's like think Sheldon from Big Bang Theory type of thing. Like it's almost a personality type, but that's not how my brother was. My brother was almost like more, like I said, down adjacent, where it's like a little bit more similar to something like that, where you would think it's more of a learning disorder, and it's not so hard to pin down. Like somebody like Elon, you couldn't necessarily tell.
Yeah, because I always thought of Asperger's as more of like autism.
And it is similar. Yeah.
To a degree. And I guess what you were describing does sound similar, because autism's like that too.
Yeah.
You meet a lot of people who are autistic, and then you meet people who are like
Exactly. So I think it's just the same exact thing, where they both just move up and down this spectrum, and that's why it's hard to I think all things are kind of like that. And then I wonder what's the difference
between Asperger's and
autism?
Yeah.
Well, I think autism even now is different. Well, what interests me about autism is the fact that
we're figuring it out for the people.
For the people. This is why I need a producer, because they can, I've learned I can just misinform myself. Like I've learned I can just lie to people probably, and it wouldn't even matter.
I do it all the time.
Like I need to start doing that on this show, because I sound enough like I think I know what I'm talking about. If I just start making shit up.
Oh yeah, do it.
And I love the idea of spreading misinformation, and people just go walking around
all the time. And like there's been a couple times where my boss will be like, dude, what are you lying about?
It's like, no, you'll get it
I'll
later.
just like say, nothing like that, but I'll just like say a fact that isn't true.
Yeah.
I'm like, in 19 whatever, I usually don't use dates, but it'll be like the weather machine. That could totally be not true.
Yeah. I would love if it wasn't.
I think it is. I remember having that.
Because like what I like to think is like, it's got to be, I've been practicing. I've been trying to get better at this. So let me think if I can do a good one right now. Because it's like, just, I don't know, the conversation we've been having and all this stuff, it makes me think about like literally, it's like people invent things a lot, and you don't even realize people are inventing things as they're inventing things. Like I feel like we're inventing ideas, and people invent things, and it makes me think. Well, literally, I just looked over.
That was generous.
Well, dude, this is crazy because we're inventing things, and I just looked over and I saw this bike, right? And it reminded me of this crazy shit.
We basically invented the bike.
No. I mean, we could say that, but no. I feel like it's crazy because the guy who made it's not the guy who made the bike, but the guy who like did the first wheelie. He was riding the bike, just some random bike. It was like I think it was the same guy who, it's like the bicycle trip thing, Albert Hoffman, the LSD thing. So he did LSD and he was riding a bike, and it was like the first ever LSD trip, right? So he's riding the bike and he like picks the bike up like he's so joyous. He's like, wee! He picks the bike up and wheelie, and he just thought that, and that was the first time anybody ever said wheelie. And I just it's literally, it's moments like you're not even thinking about things and you invent something.
Yeah, that was a good made up.
See, I feel like I'm really good at it.
Yeah, that was pretty good. Because someone would slipped it in naturally. You were like, because you could have also brought it up then during the acid thing.
Yeah.
And then like, dude, I heard, he like invented the wheelie.
It's so stupid.
And then they go, dude, that's ridiculous. He didn't invent the wheelie on acid too. You go like, no, he wasn't on acid.
I think that's what made it more credible, is that I incorporated an actual fact.
Yeah.
Because they're like, oh, okay.
Yeah. The bike ride.
It's an art. It's an art, and I want to get good at it, because I think it's like I just don't. I have to get better at lying to people, is what it is. I have to feel good lying to people.
Why?
I don't want to lie. Something in me says not to lie.
No, I mean, why do you want to learn how to lie?
Because I can't master this art of what we're talking about. Like, if I really want to execute this well enough, I shouldn't even be telling you my master plan.
No, I think the trick is you don't want to get good at lying.
Okay.
Because that might change you as a person.
Yeah.
You want to get good at doing bits. Yeah. So that's what I always tell my ex-girlfriend.
The trick of the bit, though.
Whenever I've
you're doing bits.
Whenever I've cheated on my ex-girlfriends, like, I was doing bits, babe.
I guess I could convince myself of that.
Yeah, I actually don't think I've ever cheated.
Because like how I think about that bit, the reason that it feels like a lie, the reason it feels like cheating, is because it's kind of an inside joke for me and myself and anybody else who knows what I'm doing, and that's it. Because the other person's just going to be like, oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, you're doing a bit. You're not, as long as it's not something that's damaging.
I guess
like
so.
that's what I usually lie about, is stuff that couldn't possibly matter.
Yeah.
So it'll be something like like a random fact, like what we talked about, the weather machine. I think is still a perfect example, and it's not even me lying.
Yeah.
I genuinely don't know if that's true, though.
Yeah.
I think it's true.
Yeah.
And then that line gets even blurrier and blurrier. So there are times where I'm definitely thinking I'm telling someone something, and then someone goes, what?
Yeah.
Go, oh, yeah, that's definitely a lie.
You know Harland Williams, no?
Yeah.
So have you seen, like, I mean, he's done a lot of podcasts and stuff recently.
Well, I don't know him.
Okay, so that's why I ask, because kind of like he has his movies that he's been in the past that a lot of people know him from, but really a lot more of the stuff he's done recently kind of reminds me of Norm Macdonald, where it's like he's always doing a bit just in who he is and the character, like he is the character in a sense, and that makes him a masterful comic in my mind, because it's like it's like a comic in a sense, where people like going on his show because he's always playing with them in a way that I think he's really smart. Like, he could bullshit you, and you know he's bullshitting you because that's what he does. But it's almost like he's so good at bullshitting you, you want to believe him. And I think Norm Macdonald did the same thing. He would like bullshit you, like, you know, act like he doesn't know who Hitler is.
Yeah.
But we all know he knows who Hitler is. But you almost want to believe him just because he's so charming, and the character of Norm Macdonald is so believable.
And it's fun.
Yeah,
it's
and
fun.
I think Harland Williams is the same way.
Yeah.
You should check it out if you haven't seen it. He's really good at it.
No, yeah, I've seen some of them.
Because I think it's hard to do with podcasts, especially, and like interviews, to be a character like that for so long is really hard. Yeah,
to be something that's like interesting and maintainable,
and to do a bit for so long like that, you know, like it's easy to talk, but to do a bit for like hours and hours on end, you know, like I feel like a lot of even these character comics that you'll see come along like and get big, it's really like
it's short.
It's hard for them to maintain that character, because eventually it's like, oh well, now I want to be myself, and they find a way to break out of the character. It's really hard to maintain, especially if you're doing multiple characters. It's okay. If you're doing one, it's so, because
that's what comedy is.
You're doing so much of this. Yeah.
Well, I mean, really at its heart, that is what comedy is. It's like you build a character, and you just have to make sure your character is nuanced and interesting enough that it can maintain
what I always think
for years. So like if you're a character comic, you can have a ridiculous character that doesn't necessarily have any like depth or nuance to it.
Right.
When you do stand-up, so even somebody like, you know, Dice, who people love to like crap on.
And he's like the classic character comic.
But like where it's like an act, it's well done, and it was interesting for a long time. Yeah. Like much longer than most like sketch characters would be. Yeah. You know.
And it was ahead of its time in the sense that there was nobody doing anything like that around that time. Like that was that big. Like,
for sure. He was like a huge in a way that nobody had done either or was really doing. But yeah.
I just feel like it's interesting, like the whole, because I think people who, I don't even think comics really think about this a lot. Like, and I think people who aren't comedians don't think about it at all. But it's like, I feel like so much of comedy is this weird like thing where, and the fact that podcasts are a thing now makes it even weirder, where comics are the character that they are on stage, and it's kind of who they are in real life, but it's not really who they are in real life. It's really just kind of like an exaggerated version of who they are in real life, and they lean into the bits of themselves that are funny, but it is who they are, but it's not who they are.
And it is still kind of like a character.
Over time, they kind of shift into one. They like mold into one thing, and it's like a chicken or the egg scenario, where it's like, was this person like this all along? Or is this just their on-stage persona? Or is it both? And they've just merged into one, and it's actually just the same thing now. Because I think that's like comics experience that more than anything else, because like we were talking about,
that's what they
a
say
musician,
about Dice, is that
he became that
guy now,
because it's like, as a musician, you can fake it. You can be fake, like what you were saying earlier about musicians
but
being
I think
fake.
they become what they're trying to be too.
I don't know, because I think
they
I
put
could
on
easily.
I think that's why you get douchey musicians.
Yeah,
It's because they have to put on this air of like superiority to be cool rock stars.
Yeah,
and then they start to believe it.
that's true. But don't you think it would be harder to be like the opposite? Like I feel like it'd be easier to do a put on and go on stage and just perform a song and make people think you're one way than it would be to go on stage as a comic and make people think you're a different way than you really are. Like I think in comedy, who you are comes out much more naturally, whether you like it or not, because you're just up there talking for 20 minutes. It's not all scripted in the way that a song is. Like I think in music, it's much easier to get away with things, and in comedy, that's kind of why I feel like you get exposed and people kind of become themselves through it, and it shapes their personality in that way that music wouldn't. Like that's why I would feel it's different, because in music it's all rehearsed. I can just know exactly what I'm going to say, and I can pretend. I could probably make you think that I got to be having the shittiest day in the world, and I could probably go on stage and perform. My performance might even be better because I'm having a shitty day and I just channel that into the song. But I feel like for a comic, it's a lot harder to do that, do all your dick jokes if you're having the worst day of your life, because now it's like, oh well, I just kind of want to talk about my dead dad right now.
Well, that's if you're good at it.
Yeah,
right?
That's true.
That's the thing, is you got to be good at it. Musicians, I think, are the same thing too. Though,
yeah,
to a degree.
I agree.
Like, I've definitely had a rough day or whatever, and then it affected my performance, and I was worse playing, and it was obvious. Or I was in a grouchy mood, and I was like kind of shitty or whatever. I mean, I'm a drummer, so it's not really super present. But I've like had singers who were like, we get in a fight before, and they're being like kind of shitty on stage.
Yeah, you don't want that. You really don't want anybody in a bad mood, I suppose.
Well, yeah. And I think it's just it's more a matter of like experience and skill.
Yeah.
And I think what you were saying about like comics who let it, I think that there's a lot of comics who make it everything they are, which is cool, and there's a lot of people that get success from that.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people that do not.
Yeah.
And like, I definitely have made it a huge part of my personality. It's something I do fucking, like 5 nights a week, basically, if I can. But I do think that sometimes people, to your point, like become too much the act.
Yeah. Yeah,
which is
and a good
hilarious.
way to tell is why I mentioned.
Which is, by the way, I love. Which is one of the things I love. Like,
it's confusing.
The thing I love about comics is that it's like,
that's
is
why it's
like yes, have no life outside of this. That is sweet, actually.
I think it's the only way.
I take it all back. That was coming off really douchey. That's sweet to do that.
I think it's. By the way, I think it's awesome. Everything I said, I actually think it's awesome to be a character. I think the people who pull it off are awesome. I really think that because I think it's like near impossible what they're doing, and this is why I break the whole thing down, because it's like, from an outsider perspective, you wouldn't know what the fuck is going on. You don't know what that is. Like, people who are in the comedy world, they don't know any of that stuff. And even comics don't even really think about that thing a lot, that type of thing. They don't think about their stage persona and how it's different than.
No, I don't.
And so
I don't think
they get confused.
I don't think a lot of them are conscious of it.
No, and so if somebody like Ryan Oliver comes around, they get really confused when they look at somebody like that, because half of them go, "Is that even a real person?" And then half of them go, "Like, oh, it's all a character. It's all a character. It's all a thing." And it's really not even a conversation worth having. If it's a character, he's doing it really well. And if it's not a character, then it doesn't even matter.
It also doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. And if it's a character, he's fucking killing it. Yeah. But if it's not a character, he's still doing great.
It's like,
so
Big
what's
Fish.
the point? If it's a character, it's masterful. If it's a character, it's fucking amazing that the fact that you're having that conversation is the point of what he's doing.
Yeah.
But if it's not a character, then you're kind of silly for even thinking it's a character. So it's kind of genius. Yeah. And like the only other person I can think of is like, Matan Evan. He does podcasts. You're not familiar. So he's great. And he does his whole thing is that he's this character then
Is that like young kid?
Yeah, so you've probably seen it. But he puts on this accent, and he has this whole persona he plays into.
That's a fake accent?
Yeah, dude, the whole thing's fake.
Where is he from?
I think he's just from LA.
That's so funny that he's just doing a racist accent.
Yeah, and he's saying he's Jewish, but he doesn't want to be. He doesn't claim his Jewishness anymore. He's previously a Jew, but now he hates them. This whole thing, and he gets all these big ass guests, and he just does the character 24/7. And to me, the genius, the master stroke of it is he's so good at it. You've rarely ever there's clips of him breaking character, and that's it. Like I think, come on, Oscar, come on. Come on, jump up.
You can come up here with me if you want, Oscar.
He's just gotta lay it down. But he was on Bobby Lee's podcast, and whoever is on Tiger Belly, whoever's that, I forget his name, Javi? I don't know his name, but it's the third guy on that show, and he was able to get him to break a little bit. But it's like there's little compilations of this guy breaking, and that's all there is just that. And to me, it's like when I look at anybody playing a character that well, I think that is ridiculously impressive. Like if there's just only a 10-minute video of you breaking and that's all there is,
yeah,
like you are, and he's doing interview podcasts. Like I said, that's the hardest time to be doing that because you have to constantly be improving and yes-anding and being the character. You can never break. There's no breaking at all. And we're talking about you just scored a crazy ass interview with fucking. I think he's had Rampage Jackson on his podcast, and Rampage Jackson was trying to get him to say the N-word. It's like, because everybody knows his thing at this point, so they're trying to get him. But let me see what like the most popular guests he's had on, because it's crazy.
I've seen. I agree. I think it's funny. I also think I'm obsessed with people that, I kind of am obsessed with people that live in their own world.
Yeah,
me too. I think that can take on a lot of different forms. So whether it be like what I was talking about earlier, where it's the comics who have like devoted everything they have in terms of like a personality and a life.
Yeah.
Like I'm not even talking about time, because I don't necessarily think they all spend more time writing or actually doing stand-up.
Right.
But everything in their life is about it.
Lost in their own world is a really good way to put it.
Yeah, and I like that a lot. I used to work for a guy who was a musician, and he was like he's a really great guitarist. I'm not going to say his name now because I'm worried it might be misconstrued as shit talking, but I think it's cool.
Okay.
But at one point I realized, I was sitting here, this guy's like much older and he's successful, but he's been independent his whole career. Great guy. And we got in like this argument about cats. And he was like, cats are worthless. And I was like, well, maybe now, but cats are cool. They're like, he was like, no, they've never had a purpose. I was like, well, they killed a lot of rats.
Let's talk about cats like they're mosquitoes.
Yeah, he was like, they were for like killing rats and mice. And he was like, no, they're not. They don't do that. And I was like, well, they do. Like barn cats are a thing. That's why they were praised in Egypt, is like they're valuable for pests. And he was like, nope, that's not true. And I was like, what are you talking about? And he like, and then we just kind of moved on. I looked it up and like was like, see, it's true. He's like, I've never seen a cat kill something they're worthless, and he just held it down. And then our bassist is sitting in the back and doesn't say anything. And I realized like at some point, a couple interactions like that, I realized like, oh, this guy just 100% lives in his own world. Like he has built this world. He's got a certain amount of success to where everyone around him basically, and I'm not saying they're even necessarily conscientious of it, but they all live off of him, essentially.
Yeah.
Whether it be because they're musicians that work for him or his accountant or whatever. And he basically never has to interact with people that would question his existence. And so he just gets to like totally have this world. And it's not bad. It's cool. And everyone does that, by the way. Like, I think everyone eventually does that. That's where people become kind of old and shut off. Where he's not is he's a musician. And he is truly a good musician who's interested in like making new interesting things.
Right.
But it is very funny to like be like, man, this guy just has his own complete own world where essentially nothing gets questioned.
Right. That's crazy.
Yeah.
And I think that...
And not because people are scared, not because people are whatever.
Yeah.
But because he's just over time... I mean, who's he going to work with? The person who likes him or the person who doesn't?
Right.
You work with people that like you and you work with people you like, and eventually you're just surrounded by essentially yes men all over. Like, that's the thing when, like, they talk about it with hip-hop guys and stuff. They're like, oh, he was surrounded by yes men. It's like... And they always make it out to be this evil, conniving thing. It's not evil. It's just that all my friends are yes men for me.
Yeah.
They all pretty much are down with most of what I do.
Ideally.
Yeah, because they're my friends.
Yeah.
We kind of think similarly.
Or at least, like, they'll yes and, you know, they'll take your idea and they'll run with it.
If I did something awful, they'd be like, that was fucked up.
But yeah. That's
but then I wouldn't be friends with them anymore.
But I think that the more successful you are, that's the harder thing to look out for is friends that'll tell you if what you did was fucked up. Because it's like, I think that what happens is...
It's not looking out for them. It's you weed them out.
You weed them out, but
I don't want them in your life. I wouldn't want them in my life. If I was rich and doing fucked up shit... Get out of here, moralist.
What the fuck are you doing here?
Yeah, what are you doing, dude?
Yeah, I mean, and I think that's where
we're pissing on people.
Because I'm thinking it's all clicking in my brain. Like, I think that if you were successful, you would naturally get stuck in your own world, and what would happen is the people around you would see that you're successful and they would allow you to be stuck in your own world because they're thinking, well, it's worked up to this point. Why would we tell them no? And it's just a cycle that will forever continue.
Well, and even if they did, part of the thing of getting there is saying, fuck you, I do what I want, too.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. And that's like
the fall of rock stars usually is that.
Well, and I think about it like you need to have that mentality to ever be successful at any time. It's almost like you need to be a little bit insane. Like you have to have that fuck you, I do what I want mentality to be successful, because people, if you're like aiming for the stars, you have to really think you know what you're doing and no one else knows what you're doing, and you just have to go off of that, and that's the only thing you can do. And there's a lot of people who do that are not very talented, and I might even be one of those people. I might just be fooling myself. But that's just, I think that type of insanity is necessary.
Yeah.
Because that's the only way. Like the odds of you being success, like whatever your version of success is, the odds of you getting there by not acting insane and believing in yourself so ridiculously, like wholeheartedly, is so low. Like you have to try so hard to get anywhere. So
yeah, I do think I always worried about that, and then I can't remember who said it to me, but I was talking to someone about that, because my big fear as a stand-up or a musician is that I am that. I think your biggest fear, it's like the same thing. Everyone, or not everyone, but people that are good people think that they're shitty people.
Yeah, right. So if you think we're one of the good people, it's a bad sign.
Yeah,
yeah.
And I think. But I think everybody also deep down believes they're a good person.
Yeah, everybody thinks they're the main character. Because if you didn't, you would be.
I mean, that's what like self-hatred is.
Yeah,
right. You know what I mean? Like that's unhealthy too.
No one's the villain in their own story.
Yeah, I think music and art is the same thing. Where it's like, I think outwardly and on the surface, you have to believe you suck.
Mm-hmm.
But somewhere deep down, you have to actually believe you're good. And I think you can have it reversed. You could deep down think you're bad. I don't think you could have it reversed, and you can't have both.
You don't think you could have it reversed? You don't think you could think you suck but say you're good?
No. I think you would be bad.
But I think like that's the type of mentality that makes people better a lot of the time. Is if they
I think you have to... No. I'm saying I think you think you suck.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? But somewhere you believe you'll be good.
Okay. Yeah.
Like you have to believe.
I guess
you have
you're right.
The
Yeah, that's
capacity
different. You have to really believe in your own potential.
Yeah, you have to actually believe like I can do this.
Yeah, that's true.
Because if you don't have that, you won't do it.
I think. Yeah.
I wouldn't think.
I mean, think that like with myself, I've learned that I need to stop. Like I talk shit in my own brain, and I think that puts myself out of alignment and shit. Like what I need to do is just actually think like, oh no, I'm all good. because I'll think like, oh no, I am kind of a loser, and I should not think that ever.
No, I think that's good.
the thing that's fucking me up.
I think I'm a loser all the time. I think it's good.
But I think it's like
it keeps you fat.
It keeps me fat. Well, dude, I'm a little fat kid on the inside. It's crazy. Like if you put, it's just that I'm cheap.
Dude, he's completely falling off this couch.
Yeah, he's desperately trying to sit next to you.
Dude, come on up.
Come on. There you go. It's good, boy. Yeah, why don't you get comfy, Oscar? Oscar's a little awkward, you know. He needs a little. What's the word? Time. TLC. He needs a little like prompting is the word I'm looking for. Like literally, you just need to tell him what to do, and he's like, "Oh, okay, that's what you want."
Oh
okay.
Yeah, he likes to be told what to do. That's
literally with eating his food. I'll go, Oscar, you hungry? That means eat his food, and he's thinking about it now. But I shouldn't be tempting.
Yeah, that
him.
was cruel.
Well, he's all right. He knows what's going on. He knows we're talking about him. He's having a good time. He's getting cuddles. I call him my Mr. Snuggle Monkey. Yeah, Mr. Oscar.
How old
is
he?
Snuggles. He's 11 almost now.
Damn.
He's getting older.
He likes the taste of my tattoo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The taste of ink in the morning, the afternoon. I mean,
I got that tattoo today.
No, you didn't.
No.
Fresh ink. He just licks the whole thing off.
Lick it. Yeah.
It actually feels good on the pain.
Infected.
He's actually licking the pus out. He's getting it all out of there. Yeah,
letting him lick, because you know they say their dog's mouth's cleaner than a human. Mm-hmm. I love when they say that, and that's one of those things where it's like, I've never looked it up. Cannot be true.
Can't be true.
They eat shit. Like, I've heard people say that, and you're like, dude, that there are certain facts you hear that people say are like as common knowledge.
Yeah,
and you're just like, dude, that cannot be true. Think about it for 1 second. A dog's mouth is cleaner than a human's mouth.
Yeah. So I know
Think about that for fucking 1 second, and you're like, oh yeah, of course, that's ridiculous.
And yeah, so I know it's not true.
You just learned it wasn't true.
No, I know it's not true.
You've never thought about it.
I know it's not true because also when I was about there's a dog leash up there. My childhood dog, her name is Bailey. She's a pit bull. She's a big pit bull. And one thing I used to do when I was about 8 or 9, is I would open my mouth and I would let the dog lick the inside of my mouth in front of everybody, so everybody would see this.
Why?
It's a good question. And I probably can't tell you the answer. I really don't know. I think it was like the shock value of the whole thing. I don't know. I thought I was being nice to the dog. Like, this is what the dog wants. It's very embarrassing.
And the dog thought it's what you wanted. The dog was like, this guy.
The dog was like that. And so I just remember, one thing I think about with that is, why the hell does nobody just rip me apart from the dog and go, no, don't do that?
How did people let you keep doing that?
That's a good question too. I wonder the same thing.
I mean, it is funny.
Like, I wish there was more social conditioning in this situation.
And it sounds like you were young enough that it clearly wasn't like a weird sexual thing.
No. And then guess what? Guess what I would say to people? A dog's mouth is cleaner than a human's mouth. A dog's mouth is cleaner than a human's mouth. Look it up.
Yeah. Did you ever look it up?
I just grew up and realized, oh, no, never do that ever.
Yeah, that doesn't make that cannot be true.
But that's like physical proof. Like, think about it. If you really think that's a fact, go open your mouth and let a dog lick the inside of your mouth. Would you ever do that? He's really into that too, actually. Yeah, if I were you, I would just maybe just yank his face away and cover it up. He's a fiend, you know. Oscar's a fiend. You just gotta, again, guide him, tell him no, say it's not allowed, he'll stop. But you know, that's actually what I like about dogs. They're unapologetically, they need guidance. I like that. I like that they need guidance.
Yeah, I mean, I think they've been... I
like,
think they've had
they
any
are
sort of
codependent.
independence bred out of them.
Yes, they have no independence. Yeah. Whereas cats have independence.
Yeah.
And you know what? Like, I like that about cats, but it's actually what I like less about cats, because I feel like, I almost think about it like a dog has unconditional love, a cat has conditional love. Where like a cat will eat your face when you die sooner than the dog
so
will.
Dogs.
The dog will, but the dog will wait longer. I guarantee you. It's true.
So because dogs are stupid and don't realize you're dead as early, they're
they
people?
care about you more. They care
you think
more.
That's why?
Yes. Yes, I know that's why. I know that's why. I'm not even hesitant about that at all. The dog is like, oh, that's dad. I'm not gonna eat dad. And the cat immediately is like, no, that fucker's dead.
Yeah, no, the dog goes, I don't know he's dead. I'm stupid. I'm a dog. I have to wait until I can smell it.
That's a good point. You think the cat can just pick up on the fact that you're dead faster?
Yeah, for sure.
That might be true, actually.
See, it's like the dog's mouth are cleaner. People say they're like, I know my dog loves me because of this. It's like, dude, it's AI. A dog is AI.
Dogs are AI, bro.
Like we have
dogs does whatever you tell it to do.
Yeah, we have taught them and conditioned them to behave a certain way.
And cats are like the bad AI
Dude,
that never does.
That's what life is.
Yeah.
I've long held the theory that life is just we are. Have you read Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy?
No, but I have it, and it's actually when I picked it up recently, it was a lot smaller than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be this big ass.
Well,
book.
There's more.
Oh, okay.
There's a.
But I'm excited to read it.
It's good.
I've only heard great things.
Then I won't give it away, but
it's basically a philosophical novel under the guise of a sci-fi book. Yes,
kind of. I mean, I wouldn't say it's like it's funny.
Yeah, but it uses philosophical concepts.
They have an interesting idea where it's a joke in theirs, but like it also kind of adds to what AI is. What are you doing? Are you licking my shirt?
Yeah,
now?
see, this is why I was gonna keep him away from you. He's just a freak. He's licking his paws.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah, he just can't control himself.
Okay, good. I like the idea that aliens came to Earth and they built it as a computer.
Ooh, a computer.
So it's like Earth is AI. And we are designed by, like evolution is just the trick of their design.
And we're all... your phone might fall.
Oh, thank you. I'm all over the place over here.
Well, this guy threw you off. But
I look like I've been living here for a week. I got like pillows all over.
Honestly, I like it. I needed to make a little compilation because there's so many different ways people have sat on that couch. I need to just throw a quick compilation out there. It just occurred to me I can just do rapid cuts.
Has anyone ever done the full lay across?
Yes. Let me shout out Mike Dwyer. He is the only person I've ever seen who did like this. He was all the way back like this, and he had the mic like pulled up to him like that, and he was just talking like this the whole time. And honestly, I could even probably pull this off now, but probably doesn't look very appealing on the camera.
Yeah, no, it's.
But that was what he went for. And it was his natural position. It wasn't like he would,
putting on airs.
You'll see people do all kinds of things. I mean, one time I saw a guy sit up on the edge like this, and he had the mic up here. I mean, he's over there, but it was like this. That one I didn't like so much. I was like, oh, you got to put your flip flops on the sofa. But I didn't say anything.
Was it on this side or this side?
I believe in freedom, so I didn't say anything. He was on that side over there.
This is a tiny ledge.
Yeah, that's what he wanted. He was moving all over the place. He moved here, he moved there, he moved there. Eventually he settled up there.
Was this a comic?
He's a musician.
Okay. I was going to say, a comic wouldn't do that because they would know you would crap on him. I would have been like, what are you doing, you freak?
Yeah.
Sit down. Stop fucking around.
You would have handled it better than me. I'm too nice. I just let him go. I kind of wanted it. I think...
Well, it's better for what you do.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think I just have learned... I really like what you said earlier about like people living in their own world, because it's almost like why I like seeing the crazy people at an open mic. It's almost like why I like when I meet a comic or any person who's a performer and they suck at posting on social media, and I realize like, but they're really good, because it makes me realize, they're just in that world. They don't even want to do the social media nonsense. They don't and they don't have a person they can pay to be their manager that posts clips for them. So their social media sucks, but they're really good. And those people I almost like more, because I think about it, it's like they're just probably so in that world, they don't even give a fuck about any of this. They just want to keep getting better at that.
Yeah.
They don't even want to focus on Instagram and YouTube and TikTok and all that bullshit. Yeah. And so it's like, I just feel like this whole idea of people being in their own world, I see someone do something like that, and I think I would rather not step on their bit. I'd rather let them do whatever they're doing, because that's them, and I'll let them do their thing, and if I step on it, maybe they won't want to do that so much anymore, and maybe I'll ruin it. Maybe I'll take away from whatever they were going to do, and that can go for anything in any conversation, right? Maybe somebody brings something up. Oh, here, careful. We don't have anti-droop technology. That thing might droop down on you by like angling it up.
Oh, never mind then. I was gonna see if I could come up with a new sitting.
Yeah, good luck.
I was gonna lay this way, fully across.
Ooh, okay, let me see what you can do. Let me see.
I was gonna do this move.
Let me see if Oscar stays there.
Let Oscar lay under my leggies.
Okay. Oh, that's interesting.
And I was gonna go full on like this.
I like
it. So they
it.
can't see my face, but they get a nice foot shot.
Let me get your mic. At least point at you.
Let's see. And then I'll just holler at it like this.
That's not bad. We can hold that for a little bit. You know, I almost feel like I should follow suit or something. I should chill.
We could toe touch.
You don't mind?
Footsie. Yeah,
I mean, I don't have my toes out, but we'll accept that.
Oh, look at that. Look at that. Yeah. Whoa.
Yeah, this is nice. This is nice. Try to get full contact.
Dude. I did not realize how ticklish I was.
It's not even comfortable for me to do it.
This is horrible. I'm moving back immediately.
I like the creativity.
I was just trying something out,
It was fun. I felt good. I felt good about it. I could have held it for longer, to be honest with you.
I could have, but it was inevitable. I was going to switch back.
I was excited to have a casual conversation like that.
Just casual.
Yeah.
How was the podcast? Casual.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like it's a tough thing because this couch is new, actually, and I've learned because I've watched people do that, and my natural thing. Come here, Oscar. Come on over. My natural thing is crisscross applesauce. That's always what I go for. It's crisscross applesauce. It's just the way to do it. See how I handled him?
Grab his leg. I think one's out, dude. The animals are getting buck wild.
It's getting antsy. You know what? We might as well let them both out because if come on. That'll just make our lives easier. Check that out.
Look at that.
But what I learned is crisscross applesauce is the way to go for me. But this couch is new. It's like last 10 episodes or so. So I've watched people struggle, and now I am there. Like, because I don't want... This doesn't feel right. Like, now I got my legs hanging off. This feels weird.
This chair is big. It's long.
On the camera, it looks smaller than it really is.
I had no idea.
Yeah, people don't realize.
I'm hoping this chair makes me look a little less fat because it's so large. People will be like, whoa, this is like a pretty normal-sized guy.
Someone showed up, and they were like, yeah, I'm going to have to figure out how to... It was the last episode I filmed, actually. He said, I'm going to have to figure out how to sit on this because this chair makes people look like shit. And I was like, yeah, you know. You know. Because that's like hidden knowledge. Yeah, the chair is tough. And it's a tricky thing because it looks good. Like, it looks comfy by all means, it looks good. But when I'm like watching a movie in that thing, I sit like this. I lay all the way back like this. That's actually the most comfy way is just have your back laying flat and you just got it like a pillow.
Dude, that must be wicked for movies.
Oh my God. So we got an 85-inch TV behind the camera. Yeah. Yeah, that's actually like, it makes me want to watch more movies is that. And it makes me frustrated when I go to frickin' Netflix and the movie's in 1080p because you don't even you need to have the full like 4K everything when you got a big ass TV. If you're gonna blow something up to a giant screen, it's gotta look amazing. And like what I think has been like the most revelatory experience is having a big ass screen and going back and watching like all these films I haven't seen before in 4K. Like it's like, thank God I saved these movies for this because it's the best way. It's so much better than watching it on a tiny little TV.
I need to get a bigger TV because right now our living room, we have one. It's nice, but it's just not...
It's not cinematic.
It's not cinematic.
Yeah.
It's like good for, if I'm going to watch a basketball game or something.
Yeah. And I think it makes such a dip with films. Like, films are... I mean, David Lynch is notorious for like having that little rant.
And I hate film.
Yeah, you really do?
Film is kind of. I think I do find it. I really rally against anything pretentious.
I understand that,
but also, again, it's kind of like the own worlds thing.
Yeah.
I also think it's really sick when people are pretentious.
I was just listening.
There is something about like a dumb artist with shitty glasses on being like, no.
Yes,
like, that's
it's both. It's both. And just yesterday, the day before, it's funny. I was just watching John Carpenter talk. Like he was just talking shit about a bunch of other horror filmmakers because I didn't realize he's known for hating almost all the other horror films at the time and thinking they're all pretentious. And that's what he was saying. He just hates pretension, and he hates when a film is telling you what it's doing. And the whole point of film is to create feeling. And it's like art. It's supposed to be evoking a feeling. It's not supposed to be telling you anything. And that was how he looked at it, which is ironically a little bit pretentious, right?
Yeah, which is pretentious. And that's the thing, is it's unavoidable whenever you talk about, like, that's why it sucks on podcasts. I think why a lot of comics try to avoid the
breaking down comedy and stuff like that. Yeah.
It's because it's like you're going to sound pretentious. But again, I get my out because I'm also a musician.
That's true.
So if I'm ever a little pretentious, I can be like, yeah, well, right now I'm the drummer for Dropship.
So now they do connect. Now they aren't completely separate. Now they connect.
Well, that's my point, is I never thought, that was my point, is that they were never going to be separate.
Yeah.
Like they are connected.
Yeah, like they're always going to be connected.
That was kind of what I told them, is like they're always going to be connected, but hopefully people have like the nuance to understand that.
Yeah, and people nowadays do. Yeah.
I think so.
I think they do, yeah. Yeah. I feel like it's tough not to, like, because I've seen, like, it's funny, you'll even see a comic like say like that they hate when comics break down comedy, and then they'll proceed to break down comedy anyway.
Yeah.
I've seen it so many times.
Of course.
And it's I think that's a bad way to set up that. Like, you just shouldn't even say that, because it makes you sound worse when you say the next thing. Just don't even set it up that way.
Just don't even say that. Or actually don't talk about it.
Or just don't talk about it. Yeah, because the thing is,
it's going to be inevitable.
Yeah.
Because you're going to run out of something to say.
Or you'll think of, it's what's in your brain. So you'll think of some comparison, because you're in the comedy world. So you'll be like, oh, it's like when I'm on stage and this happens. Or, oh, it's like when I did this one show, and naturally it flows right back into...
And then... Yeah, as a host, you're gonna be like, well, then what do you think about that?
Yeah.
You know, like, because for you that can be compelling, I would imagine.
Well, not even that. It's like people will tell you what they want to talk about. So if someone is, it's what's they almost like project what's in their head. So it's like if someone's naturally going that way, it's like up to me to then, okay, well, so what are they saying? And ask them the right question to kind of get them to talk about what they want to talk about. Like, in my mind, that's a great interviewer. It's just, you just kind of guide people where they already would want to go. That's the best
especially
thing
for like a long form podcast thing.
Yeah, especially if you don't even have a plan. Like, if you don't even have questions, you don't even have anything, then you just kind of let them go. Oh, if you got questions for me, I'd love to hear your questions. Oh, really? You got them written down? This is good. This is good stuff.
I can't remember which notebook I put them in.
Awesome.
I got drunk last night.
So they're new. He wrote them recently. This is his research from last night. He got drunk. He did research. He wrote down questions. This is good.
I think I did.
I mean, I hope you did. I get excited about questions.
This is not it.
This is good stuff. This is your notebook, your joke book? What are we looking at here?
No, this is one of my notebooks. This is the song my band's working on right now.
Verse, interlude, chorus, verse, interlude, chorus. It sounds, the lyrics are great.
Verse, interlude, chorus, verse, interlude, chorus, bridge, interlude 2, chug, solo, chugs, in.
Is that how you usually do it? You write out the structure of the song?
No.
I like that idea.
I'm trying to do it more because, like, with our album, we're releasing our album in October.
Okay. What's your band, the name?
Dropship.
Dropship. I don't know if you said yet. Okay, Dropship.
No, I think I said it slyly earlier because I was being fucking...
Slyly. You just slipped it in and you were cool about it.
Yeah, I was fucking sweet about it.
It was so cool. It was so cool, dude.
Oh, one was, what is more likely, do you think, that when we encounter aliens, they communicate through speech or any other sensory organ?
Oh, they're going to communicate probably through, like, just direct sending thoughts.
I mean, any of our sensory organs.
Through the brain.
So what do you think's more likely? If aliens are out there and don't have, because I think everyone likes to believe telekinesis, stuff like that. But let's say they don't have that, and they can only communicate in the ways we communicate, like smell, sight, touch, sound, you know what I mean? Like, the senses. Which one do you think they communicate? Like, do you think they use speech?
Yeah, I think, well, that's a good question.
Like, I was thinking about one where the alien uses heat. I was like, it would be cool if there was one with, like, a tip on its head that it can, like, heat up or cool down using its blood. And it could do, like,
Well, I think
because that's more to me. That's more likely than aliens that like talk to each other.
Yeah, but see, how would that be it's the idea of communication. Like, I think the reason that we communicate through words would be that it's just the best possible way for us to telephone game our thoughts, which is actually like the purest form of the idea. The words are just like the secondary thing. That's really the primary thing's the idea in your head, and you represent it with a word. And so I think that I would wonder if that's just a natural, because we don't even know if our natural evolutionary process is the only one where it's like genes split and then naturally that becomes all that. We just think that's the only way that life forms because that's the only life we've seen. So that's a tough question to answer because it's like, I would assume that when we talk to one another, the reason that we do that is because it's just the best possible way to break down a thought into something where we all understand what it is. The reason I even said telekinesis is because there's that whole story of like in South America where there was these aliens and there's this whole town and there was a documentary on it and people swear that there was 2 aliens they saw that sent a thought into their brain and then the FBI showed up and the alien was sent to this place and there was somebody who, the doctor and then the guy who drove the alien, they both died like 2 weeks later. They both got really sick and they said it smelt terrible and it's just this crazy story, but they said it communicated through thoughts. That's the only reason I would say that is because that case where it's just such a fucking crazy story. And
yeah, I mean, maybe I just think that always with aliens, people imagine one of 2 things: either that,
yeah,
or like it clicks. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like a
like
weird
in
clicking
Signs.
thing. Yeah, and I'm
Yeah.
just like, well, what about smell?
Smell
Seems like a super effective way of communicating.
Smell would be actually that because the smell, you know what's crazy is the olfactory system in your brain. Like smell goes deeper than thought.
That's
even.
my point.
Smell goes before you even form thoughts. Smell comes first. Like it's like bio in the way that we are as we've evolved. Smell came before anything else, and that's why we instinctually react to smells
That would
before
make
anything
sense.
else. So that's actually pretty solid because can you imagine if like an alien was in front of you and it didn't even say anything, it just sent a smell at you, you would know exactly what it's trying to tell you. You would smell it. You do. Oh man, it smells like roses. This alien's trying to be peaceful.
That's what. Yeah, exactly. That's my. I think that would, in terms of intergalactic travel, maybe be an even more effective. The only problem with smells is I think olfactory would be difficult, and you also wouldn't know what's poisonous.
Well,
But I guess you wouldn't know with sound either. Like there might be beings out there where a certain frequency melts their eardrums and you never know.
You know what it's like? It's like when we came to America and or when the Latin American people, or not Latin American, the English people came to South America, I should say. They colonize it and then they get them all sick with their other diseases that these people in South America have never even seen before. And the reason
the Spanish.
and the Spanish people react poorly because they've just never had.
No, the Spanish did that to native. It wasn't the English.
Oh, that's how I'm getting it backwards. So it's the Native Americans?
British did it to Native Americans, yeah.
I thought
it happened to pretty much all of the colonies.
Yeah, because I think it happened in South America too when they got colonized. So it's both of them where it's like you didn't, and I think it'd be the same thing with aliens. If aliens came here, they'd probably get. That's why I think those people got sick in that story. If that whole story's true,
yeah,
the reason they got sick probably is because they got in contact with something that humans aren't even supposed to be in contact with.
Yeah, something with like a super.
Yeah,
virus.
aliens can smell and aliens can be around, but a human does it, and it's like
melts your brain or something.
Melts your brain over 2 weeks. Some crazy. You get the brain worm. Who knows?
Yeah, they don't even be meaning to. I would hope. But I guess in their defense they wouldn't know. But it's like I would hope that if something is smart enough to be able to like travel at light speed and avoid all our observation, that they would recognize like, which I guess just means if they did that, then they're doing it on purpose.
Do you think the aliens are fourth dimensional creatures?
I think that's probably more likely.
I think so. I think that would be the way that they can go in and out of water at the very least without like having
I think the ones we interact with more often than not are that. But I also think there are aliens that exist in our dimension just out in space.
Yeah.
I just don't think that we've encountered them yet.
Well, have you seen those videos of it's like some weird anomaly in the sky where it like looks like something almost shifting in shape, and no one even knows what it is. It's just a shape in the sky, and it's just shifting. It's like one of the craziest like anomalies I've ever seen, and it just looks like an object in the sky that goes from one shape to another shape to another shape. And if you were thinking fourth dimensionally, it almost makes sense. I hate to interrupt.
Do I have a booger going?
No, you're good.
Okay, if I have one, you have to blur my nose.
I'll make sure. I'll
blur out. I'll blur
nose. It, or
just a blotch of blur right here.
Yeah, they'll know exactly what happened because of this dialogue. Yeah. But yeah. So it's like if you know, because think about it, what would be the third dimension, or how would you view that in 2D? So
have you ever read Flatland?
No, but is that the idea?
That's exactly what it is.
So I forget how to represent it, but I guess the way to think about it is in 2D you have a square. Don't let her in because she'll walk away within minutes. She has to learn she can't do this. She can't come in and out. But anyway,
she has no freedom.
It's unacceptable because she'll want to go out again in like 15. She makes you do things for her, and I don't think that's acceptable. So okay, you got the house that's in 3D. Or a square that's in 3D. So it's a cube. But when you look at it in 2D, it's a square. But you can move through it, and you wouldn't even know you're moving through it because it's in 3D. But you're in a 2D space. Mm-hmm. You perceive in 2D. So if you were in 3D and something's in 4D, and you were seeing it shift through your reality, like imagine you have this 3D object that it's like a circle, and you're viewing it in 2D. So you're going through a circle in 3D, but you're in 2 dimensions, and you're going from top to bottom. So what's going to happen is the circle is going to expand, and that's going to go back in. And so from your 2D perspective, it's just 2 lines that go out, and then they go back in. That's how you would view that.
You would love Flatland. This is literally what it's about.
That's the only way you could explain it to Flatland is about, so hard to conceptualize what would be a 4D space to a 3D space, and that's the answer. Is you would see something that almost looks like it's shape-shifting. You would see something that looks like it's shifting shapes because it's in the 4th dimension, and that's why I think that space video is crazy because it almost looks like a 4th dimensional object that you're viewing in 3D space. Where how could it be shape-shifting? It's not. It's just moving forward in space.
So Flatland's about a square. He lives in 2-dimensional space. Yeah. So the first chapter, it's really like you could get it done in a day. It's super thin. It's like tiny. It's a really famous book in like math.
Yeah.
They call it like, I can't remember what it's called, but it's basically like math books that are hardcore math ideas, but they make them like interesting.
Oh, okay.
Kind of like they make a story about it. And so Flatland is a square. And so the whole first part about it is his perception of like how he sees and how their 2D society exists, where basically like the more angles somebody has, the more higher up in the hierarchy of they are, and then you get to a circle, and the way you can perceive them is from like how things disappear from your perception.
Wow.
So like because it's closer, you see that like a dot, and then you see kind of the things disappearing. And then he meets like a line. Well, he meets a line and tries to describe like, essentially he meets a line, tries to describe the 3rd dimension, and the line's like, that couldn't exist, you're stupid. That's insane. And then he goes back to his people and tries to talk about how he met a 4th dimension, a cube. And he like describes his world to the cube, and he's like, you're buffoons, you all look like this. And so it's like that. And then it's about, he asks the 4th dimension guy, he's like, oh, so there's a 5th? And the guy's like, no, that's absurd.
Of course it is.
Or I mean the 3rd dimension guy, if there's a 4th.
Yeah.
And he goes, that's absurd. And so that's what it's essentially about. It's like a story to help you understand the
dimensions.
Yeah, and inevitability of a 4th dimension. Yeah. It's not even like
a 5th and a 6th and a 7th and an 8th.
Yeah, it's not even really like theoretical.
Yeah.
Like it kind of has it is, but it kind of has to exist.
People say the 4th dimension is time, but that's not true. It's not time. I think some people say that, but I don't think that's true. or like the fifth or sixth dimension. You could put time in as a dimension, but
No,
time
I
is
think
a
it's
concept.
From our understanding, it's time. Now that part, I don't know any of the math behind that.
Yeah.
But I believe it is time.
I don't think so,
Length,
because I think
breadth,
that
width.
time is just a definition of something. Like, it's just a concept in the end. We just define things by time, but I mean space-time, like time
But I
can
think
be curved.
mathematically it's not, is my point.
I guess maybe if it's a
Do you
dimension.
see what I'm saying? Because like to your point exactly, in space, time isn't linear. Time is like a thing.
Fuck, yeah. Shit. Yeah, I just kind of proved myself wrong. Yeah. Time's probably a dimension. Like black holes.
Yeah.
What the fuck? That's just always been such a trip to me, is how would you experience time in a black hole? It's not even about the space. It's about the time, because time is curved. Like, would everything just slow down and it would be an infinity and you would just never die? It would just go on forever because you're in the black hole?
Potentially.
Maybe. Maybe you're just moving towards a never-ending hell.
I hope it crushes you. Okay, you
Maybe
ready
it
for my
crushes
next
you,
question?
but infinity, because time stretches, you don't even get to when it crushes you. You're just in it forever.
Yeah. There's a story I read called Worm. It's like an online novel series. And it's about people with like superpowers. And one of them is called like Gray Boy.
Mm-hmm.
So there's this group called like the Slaughterhouse 9, and they're like 9 villains. So basically in this story what happens is the way you get powers is you have like, and they don't know if it's whether how you get them or if it's just what causes it to come through or whatever, but essentially you have a break. And usually what happens is the more intense the experience, the more powerful your powers are.
Okay.
So all of the like heroes are really fucked up, but they just happen to believe in, like, they're like weird, you know, like Batman's as fucked up as the Joker.
Yeah.
Just in a way that results in him being the good guy instead of the bad guy.
Okay.
But one of them is called Gray Boy.
Yeah.
And what he does is he traps people in a moment.
Ooh.
So he can like stab you and then just trap you in that moment of getting stabbed forever. And nobody can release you.
That's a good one.
It's crazy.
That's like what I said.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I like that a lot.
It's a really dark. A lot of those people have like, some of those Slaughterhouse 9 people have like very upsetting. That one, like when I heard it getting described, like for real gave me chills.
That's really good.
Because it talks about how there's people still, like he went crazy at one point, and there's still people that are like frozen throughout this area.
Yeah.
Because he just trapped them, and when he died, no one could really, and now they're stuck forever getting like stabbed over and over.
Yeah. Purgatory.
Yeah. This one is my next question. What's your favorite like old school prank? Like classic prank. Wet Willy, wedgies. Maybe
cushion.
not prank, but bullying. Like schoolyard bullying.
It's whoopee cushion for sure. I mean, whoopee cushion, but if I was talking
Do
like...
fart machines count as well?
Oh.
Is it prank farts in general, or specifically you have a lot of experience with the
fart
whoopee?
humor, but I would say whoopee cushion, and then close second would be stink spray. The stink spray.
Really?
Yeah.
You're double farts.
And then you
what's
know
third?
what? Third would be those phones that they electrocute you. Like, it's a little gag device where you pass it to somebody, they push the button, and it electrocutes you.
Yeah, it's like the gum or the whatever.
And it's actually like, you know, if you give that to somebody with a heart problem, it's like an execution device.
Yeah. Mine is always the flick.
Oh, you know what? Actually, I might have to go with this. You just lost the game. Okay sign down here. That's just so good. I mean, everybody knows that one still to this day.
It's a classic.
I mean, you don't even have to say what it is. You just get them. You say, hey, can you grab that down there? And then boom, you got them. And that's it. It's actually it's a mean thing to do almost. So that might be number one, whoopee cushion second. And then I'm actually going to go, I'm actually going to switch fart spray with the zap the phone. And then fourth place can be fart spray.
Have you ever actually given anyone a wedgie?
No. I want
to. But you have brothers.
Yeah.
Oh, but it would have been crazy to...
I don't have any younger brothers. I was the youngest.
And it would be insane to wedgie your brother with Asperger's.
Yeah, that would not be nice.
That would be crazy.
Yeah. That would actually be really mean.
That would be so fucked up.
Yeah.
Your parents would be like, well, now we have to send you somewhere because you're fucked up.
Yeah.
You did something crazy.
You can't do that.
Yeah, and then do you have an older like what's the age?
So my brother was older, and I have two older brothers. The one with Asperger's passed away, and then my other brother.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, I appreciate it. And then my other brother he's not like. Both of them were not full-blooded. Like, one of the brothers had a different mom than me. The other one has a different dad. The one with a different mom had Asperger's. The one with a different dad, he's still alive. And he's like, I think he's in his 30s. And then I have a bunch of sisters. So I have one younger sister and then a bunch of older sisters.
How old are you?
28, basically. My birthday's at the end of the month. So
yeah, and you can't wedgie sisters.
Can't wedgie sisters. That's also inappropriate. Don't wedgie Asperger brothers or sisters. Just laying out the ground rules.
Yeah, that's a healthy place to start. When I have my first kid, I'm going to sit him down and say, hey.
Hey, listen.
You're going to learn about this thing called wedgies.
Let me show you statistics, all right? It's very possible your brother might have Asperger's or something. So please.
Hilarious. Okay. All right, here was my other question for you. Why do you think women are always so pissed off? What's that about?
That's a great question. So why are women so pissed off? Because I think that women have a higher standard than men. I think that men are like dogs and women are like cats in the sense that men, they're cool with...
In the sense that you think that men actually love you and women are conditional?
Yes. Men are like a ride along, you know? Men will just get in the car and they'll just go. Whereas a woman, it's more like, what kind of car is it? Where are we going? What are we doing here? A dude's more like, that's why it's like, why do guys talk like that with one another?
I was kidding about the...
I know you were. But I wanted to give your question grace. I thought that's a funny... I'm gonna answer it legitimately. I'm gonna give him a real answer. Because the thing is, like, I actually think that's respectable, and I like women for that. I think women have a higher standard. I think men have a lower standard, and women have a higher standard, and I actually respect them for that. Like, I think they would rather things be better, whereas men... Dude, my mom and my stepdad... My mom has been cleaning up after my stepdad ever since they met. That's been it. And I think that that's not abnormal. I think that women just kind of accept, oh, he's lazy. He's like that. And of course, some women strive for more than that. But I think men, there's a lower standard. I just think men can get away with having that lower standard, whereas women don't get to have that.
That is actually probably true.
Yeah, and I respect. Women don't get recognized for that enough. They have to have a higher standard.
Yeah, I think it's like both. Like, I think it depends. Women,
and that's why they're so pissed off all the time.
It sounds lame, but like, I think it's just people treat it differently. Like, you know. Oh, what was I? I was gonna get myself out of saying something douchey by saying
people treat it differently with women having a different standard.
I was trying to. Okay, it was something sexist, but I couldn't put them together.
Like what? Well,
I didn't believe it. From the heart.
I just think I would also sound like a bitch if I had to try hard all the time. That's what I think. I think if I had to try harder, I would sound more like a bitch. Yeah, I think I'm going to become my dad eventually because I'm going to get burnt out on trying so hard. And I think women probably try harder than I could ever imagine, right?
Well, also, I don't know. People talk about trying hard.
Like even just putting makeup on. Dude, I've never even fucking thought about that. I don't have to try. I get up and I walk my dog. I think, oh shit, I didn't even look in the mirror. That's what I'll think as I'm walking. Oh shit, is my hair fucked up? I didn't even look in the mirror.
Yeah, but you still probably like take care of yourself like before you go on a date or go out.
Yes, yeah, to be presentable. But I think like if you were a woman, you'd be thinking like, I think you would think about that entirely differently. You're like, oh, I'm gonna go outside. I need to prepare for this. I don't think most dudes are thinking that. And that's like, again, you know. I think that would make me a little bit different of a person. I think that that's good. I think that that's good. That's what I think.
You like that women feel obligated to constantly be dressed up.
Because
I see how
I think
is.
The world,
women out there, you see that? He thinks you need to fucking put makeup on.
You know what I think?
Put makeup on and dress up for me.
I do think that, but you know what I also think? I think that you need to
wear something nice, doll.
Mm-hmm. You need to do that back to us. That's what you need to do. give us the same treatment. Start saying that to guys.
They do, but dudes are gonna hate it.
That's my point. We need to start this. It's reverse psychology. You, the women, start saying to the men, "Oh, you won't. Can you wear something a little like I see those shorts? Could you maybe make them a little shorter next time?" Start saying stuff like this. Start asking for more. Start asking for more. Say, "Oh, your hair's kind of fucked up. Could you maybe brush your hair next time?" Say something like that. Maybe say it nice. Something like that. I'm trying to think
and
of
it's cool to pick things that they can. I heard someone once say like, which I think is true, and it's true for compliments and for insults.
Okay.
It was a lady saying like, dudes always are like, "Oh, I don't know what to like. What can I say that's not an insult? Like, what can I say that's not mean?" She's like, "Well, if it's something they chose,
yeah,
you can compliment it. If you like their shirt, that's nice.
Yeah.
Right? If you think they have a nice hairstyle, that's something."
Yeah, but if it's like the giant boil on their neck they did not choose.
But they mean compliments. So the same thing is like, don't be like, "Sweet, nice smile." Because that's not necessarily something they chose.
Right. They didn't pick that.
Or "sweet tits" or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, which I think is fair. But it's also true for the reverse. If you're going to make fun of somebody, it's funny if it's something they could choose. That's why it's funny to make fun of only certain types of fat people. Right? Like, you can tell a fat person who chose it and who is susceptible to obesity.
Yeah.
They have a different body style. I have a fatness that's funny to make fun of.
Yeah.
Because it's not yet a huge health problem.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's clearly not genetic. It's clearly just I drink too much beer.
Yeah. And
you know what I'm saying?
And that's
fun to make fun of.
Yeah, well, and even like I'm.
But when you start getting a waddler, you can't make fun of it. That's like not nice anymore.
No, when they start looking like Wally.
Yeah, they start kind of like they have to walk like this.
Yeah, like My 600-Pound Life type of thing. It changes.
I say that, but I'm gonna definitely have difficulty getting out of this chair.
No, dude. I mean, there's layers. There's levels to that. I mean, because it's like, I feel like it. Even then, if the person is leaning into it, it's different. Like, there's that one rapper who's like, what's his name? He was doing this whole thing about how he's going to crowd surf.
The guy with the purple, whatever.
Yeah, he wrote the Cousin song and the Hail Hitler song. He wrote both of those songs for Kanye. A lot of people don't know that he wrote those songs for him. Yeah, Kanye didn't write those songs. He wrote those songs, and he was gonna crowd surf, and that was his whole thing.
He wrote those songs for Kanye?
Yeah, he wrote those songs. Yeah.
No way.
A lot of Kanye's songs he didn't. His more recent stuff, he didn't write. Like, there was, what bothered me is there was a song on one of his albums.
Does he write the beat or something?
Well, Kanye performs it, and he makes the beat. So there's those two things that he does. But they'll have co-writers, of course. But I think some songs he doesn't even write. And that song I know he didn't write. Because that was part of the whole story, is that it was written by this other guy. I wish I could remember. I mean, he's just known for being really fat. If I type
Why
in
did
fat
he write
rapper,
Hail Hitler?
to be controversial.
But was it that has to have been, was that Kanye's idea, or was he just like, "Yo, check this one out"?
It's probably a little bit of both. I mean, they're probably in the studio.
That guy had the idea of let's do Hail Hitler?
Yeah. It was probably like they're sitting in the studio together, and
why isn't he
Kanye's
in more
like,
trouble?
"I want to be revolutionary. I want to do something different than anybody's ever done. Do you understand me?" And then the guy's like, "I got it. You're a Nazi, right?" And then boom, it's like, "I got it. Your whole thing right now is they're getting on you about those anti-Semitic tweets. So how about you double down? You say, fuck you, make the I Say What I Want anthem Hail Hitler." And that's how it happens. That's probably something like that. Because that's
I've gotten so,
Cousins is actually harder to explain.
I've gotten so many comics to say the N-word by doing the same thing.
It's not that hard. And, it's
right
actually,
before they go up, I'm like, dude, no, yours is different.
the mean thing to do is to
Like,
do
a
it.
lot of guys, the problem is a lot of guys do it and they didn't like think about the joke really.
Yeah.
But yours is like good.
The mean thing to do is to do that in a public setting.
Yeah.
You can always get them when they're alone. But to
I
it
do
on-
that like at open mics.
Yeah, that's not nice.
I used to.
Because what happens is that becomes the local legend.
Yeah.
Did you hear?
Yeah.
John said the N-word, dude.
I used to do at my open mic. I used to always do one of the intros would be I would go, and I go, guys, and I know a lot of you are worried about it, but don't worry, your inward joke is different. You actually do have to say it for yours.
It's funny. I remember
You actually do have to, though, because like it won't work if you don't actually say the word.
I won't say who it was, but there was one time that someone did break down their N-word joke on the show. On the show, they were like, "No, let me explain. Like, this is the good one," and it was the typical one. It was like getting to say it through saying things like Arnold Schwarzenegger, like listing all these other words that contain the word vinegar. You just say all these other words, like that's. But you lean into it, like you lean into it as you're saying those words, which to me is like, that's one of the most hack ways you could possibly try to do that. Like you're literally just, it has to be, if you were, that is like the holy grail of offensive comedy that probably, I don't even think it's been done since like 2004 or 2008, because I know Louis C.K. had an N-word joke back then that comics will like to tell you about now. But even then, that's not even recent. Like, when's the last time you heard a good N-word joke from someone who wasn't black? It's been a long time. And the reason is it's goddamn near impossible. It's not that it's impossible, it's that there's a reason it's so hard to do. Like, there's all these other topics.
Rape jokes are really hard.
And rape jokes are really hard, and that's why it's annoying.
Dead dog jokes are really hard.
You go to a show and it's like everybody's trying to be edgy, so you end up hearing 10 rape jokes, and it's not even that it's offensive. It's just like, oh, this is just lazy and boring, and like if you're gonna dead dog, any sad family story, right? Like you have to kind of win the crowd over before you're ever gonna do anything like that. But it's just like, in my mind, what people miss the point of. And it's kind of like, I almost look at it like this is kind of when people talk about edgy comedy and how this is the problem with comedy is people are just trying so hard to be offensive. It's like, it's not that. It's that people are trying to be offensive without any intention behind it. They're just trying to say offensive things to say offensive things. That's what sucks.
Yeah, for sure. I have a friend who's got a great bit. They call it the golden joke, the best joke ever written.
Yeah.
And I can't remember the setup. But it's basically like, you know, you do a whole setup and then you just say like all of the major slurs is the punchline. He's like, the setup would be something like, you know, like, why'd the chicken cross the road? And then you just say all the slurs that you can think of. Genius. And they're just like, yeah, it's the best joke ever written. Or one way I like to do it is I would go like, you know, a Jew, a black guy, a Mexican, you just list them all, a woman, a gay guy, and a preacher or whatever, all walk into a bar. And the bartender looks at him and says, and then you just say all of the slurs.
I like that one more.
The bartender looks at him and says, boom, boom, boom. But yeah, no, there is like, it's kind of like smut.
Yeah.
I feel like for movies, it's like people ask about like, okay, how do you tell if something's like edgelord or not?
Yeah.
I think of it like what was the commission that said, like, I know it when I see it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It's not a definition, but you know it when you see it.
You know it when you see it. And, you know, one thing that I think about recently, and I need to go back and watch the documentary, because I've only seen a couple of people tell the joke. I've never seen the full thing. But the Aristocrats joke, because that was the whole point of it, was that comics would say the most offensive, raunchy joke they could possibly think of and take the scenario and make it as smut as possible. That's the whole point. And it's almost like an exercise of that. It's like, let's say as much as we can possibly get away with. Yeah, and I think that's the reason that joke works, is that there's a point. It's not just saying a bunch of offensive shit. It's like, there's a reason, there's an arc, and there's an idea, and there's a reason for it to exist.
Yeah, oftentimes the problem with it is people
they try to justify the choice based on, like, I want to do this edgy thing. How do I do that? And it's not like that. You're starting from the end point.
Yeah,
it's not a natural choice.
And then that's why they all wind up having it be a thing where they're like, you know, I actually believe in free speech, and it's like, no, you fucking don't. You don't actually give a shit about.
And
free speech.
I also think truly, you can get away with anything. You can say anything, and I really think that. But it's all about context. Everything in life is context. And it's like, it's this lie that you can't get away with things. That's actually a lie.
Yeah,
it's
not
all
true.
about how you say it.
I used to have a lot of older comics. Like, I've been friends with older comics since I started.
Yeah.
And most of my comic friends are like much more experienced than me. And I remember it's funny because I think very much so a lot of them see like the beginnings of when they were doing it, you know? Because I remember I got annoyed once and I said something about like, man, the crowd just couldn't handle the joke or whatever. And my friend just goes, dude, it just wasn't funny. Like, what are you talking about? I went up and said crazy shit right after you. It just wasn't a funny joke. Sorry. You know? And like, I remember one time, one of my favorite stories to tell is there used to be this comic here. He moved to Austin and he was like well known as like a misogynistic, like people thought of him that way because his thing is he was committed to the character and his character was alt-right basically. Nice. And he would go on stage and be like, I'm an alt-right.
It's the whole thing. Yeah.
Yeah. And I remember one time we went, this was like kind of around COVID, there was a coffee shop that had like an LGBT, like a safe space mic, and this was early on, and I was like, that whole idea sucks, like, which it doesn't. It's cool.
Yeah.
If people want to have a safe place to where they don't feel like they're getting attacked and they're trying
why didn't you like it at the time?
Because I just thought that is inherently kind of, in my opinion, like somewhat anti-comedy. I understand the purpose now as like an adult with the ability to reflect on it.
Yeah.
But like at the time it was very much, and there wasn't a ton of mics at the time.
Yeah.
So it just felt very like, comedy's not about that. Like, comedy's about saying whatever the fuck you want, whenever you want, but like that kind of thing.
I do think you gotta be careful telling, like, it's more up to the producers and the people making a space. Like, if you're producing a show specifically, like, it's kind of up to you to curate the right people, because you gotta be careful when you tell comics what they can and can't do.
But
because a lot of the time they have their pre-prepared.
No, like, you could totally fucking tell them what to do.
You think so?
It's part of their job.
Yeah.
If they can't work clean, then they shouldn't do the job.
But I mean, like
it's
you don't think it's sort of on the person who's booking them to maybe go, oh, well, this person probably can't work clean.
Yeah, but this was an open mic.
Oh,
so, like,
that's what I mean. I'm expanding
because
I'm saying I'm at least giving your old philosophy a slight bit of credit. Obviously, you've grown up and you're away from there.
It's fine.
Yeah.
And I get why people believe that, and if that's the fight they want to have.
Yeah.
About
it's not worth
if their fight they want to have is to be able to say cunt at a coffee shop full of lesbians. It's like, go for it, dude. But that's just not really a war, a hill I want to have.
Well, and I think about it too.
Battles on anymore. Like, if I'm gonna waste my time fighting for my right to say something edgy, it's gonna be something. It's not gonna be just because I had this joke where I wanted to call my ex a whore.
Yeah. Well,
it's like that doesn't.
And
that's not where I'm having the
fight.
And
I guess it goes back to even.
I'll just do my fart jokes.
Yeah, and
everyone thinks farts are funny.
I just feel like if you really think that way, you really don't like certain places, just go work other places.
Yeah, just go.
It's not worth going out and causing all this fuss.
But
and
the
drama.
end of the story is so I tell this guy who's like a known edgelord type guy, alt-right is like his joke, and I go, I'm gonna go up there and say the meanest, worst shit I can think of. And he just looks at me and goes, honestly, man, I think you'd kind of be proving their point. And I was like, oh, shit. Like, if the guy is like, no, don't do that. Like, what are you doing? Because that would be proving their point.
Yeah.
Their whole point is that they don't feel safe in certain places, and they don't feel represented, and they feel like this and that, and then I show up and do exactly that.
Yeah.
It's like, that sucks.
Yeah, and I think, like, again, it's like, how do you, if you really feel that way about those things, how do you combat those things? Like, it's not, I think people aren't constructive about it. That's why I would say go somewhere else and just do something better. Because it's like, it's not even worth fighting this war against these clubs you don't like and these places you don't like. It's better, you're better off going to the places you do like and supporting them and trying to work with them. That's the move. Because I think like what happens is it's a tough thing because you want better standards for an industry, but you also don't want to be that person who's just always talking shit. You just don't look good. If you're just the person who always hates on things, is always talking shit.
That's such a lame.
Like, obviously, you should have a standard. You should want things to be better, but you just end up coming off as, like, pretentious and lame. And
yeah, I've been holding it down for a while that, like, this is the summer of no hating, dude.
I do my best to not be a hater. I do my best. Hating. I try really hard.
We're only into shit this summer.
It's really hard.
I keep telling my roommates.
Because you catch yourself hating. And, like, you want to be into shit, you want to be into everything, but you'll catch yourself. You'll be like, oh, that fucking sucks. Oh, damn.
I'll catch myself, like, hating on haters.
Hating on haters.
Which is still hating.
Yeah. That's a hard one, too.
It's like a paradox of hatred.
And that's why I always try to give people credit. I always try to give as much benefit of the doubt to everything, because I'm trying my best to not be a hater. I'm trying to think, well...
So what about Hitler?
Well, the thing is, you got to understand that the German people were under a lot of pressure at that point in time.
All right, Stalin.
Stalin, I actually don't know my history well enough. But I know that communism was afloat. It's not just him. You also had this idea of communism floating around. I actually think what Stalin did is he bastardized communism in a way that is unforgivable, and it probably will never, ever look the same ever again. I mean, he basically, like, if it was an idea that had credit, and then he took that and did that, and I kind of think that's probably what's going to happen every time. You're always going to have a Stalin come around and just fuck it all up.
Yeah.
But I do think, like, at the very base... communism's an all right idea. At the very base, the idea of sharing is okay, but I just think there's always going to be some asshole dictator who will take advantage of that and separate everybody.
Yeah, there's always a kid who, like, eats all the fucking...
The idea of communism is that we're going to trust that kid who steals all the candy to give us all the money.
Yeah, when you have the bowl that says, like, take a candy, one candy.
Yeah. Like, when is the kid who stole all the candy ever shared it?
Yeah,
ever.
And that kid is Stalin.
The kid's Stalin.
That's why when I do Halloween, what I do is I set up a camera, and any of those kids, I find them.
Yeah.
People always talk about, like, what if you could go back in time and kill Hitler? I'm like, well, that's not possible, but I could definitely kill future ones.
Ooh, future Hitlers. Yeah.
Because I can't go back in time because the time machine doesn't exist, because if it did, we would know.
Yeah.
That's my whole thing with time machines is I'm like, they don't exist because if they did, they would be here. Like, they can't... If they existed, they would always exist.
Well, it's a paradox.
Yeah.
Time travel is a paradox. Because there's only been a couple movies who
You know what? Nah.
You don't think so?
Nope. I think it's easy.
Well, this is what I think.
You know what? I actually think it's fucking simple as shit.
It might be. I think maybe you branch off into parallel dimensions every time you time travel, and then maybe it's easy to understand, because if that happens, then it's easy to understand. But if it's the case that we're all in the the same space-time continuum, so I saw a video the other day that just helped me understand this, because it's like, imagine you're in a circle, like space-time is bending in a circle, so you go in this loop when you enter it, and you just kind of go around. It's a year-long loop, and by the time you get around, you're back to the beginning. And it's just the way that space-time is warping that you're able to get into this. Say you enter it. When you enter, you'll see yourself exit. So how does that work? Because that's the paradox. That's the whole question. Is it that you branch off into alternate realities, or is it's all the same space-time continuum, and you see yourself exit as you enter? And have you ever seen the movie Tenet? That movie, the Christopher Nolan movie?
Yeah.
So I think that's probably one of the better recent examples of, like, a time travel plot, because he did a pretty good job at, like, forward and backward, and the movie makes sense of itself, and you realize that prior events...
That movie made me more mad than any movie's made me in a long time.
I didn't like
this specific scene.
What was it?
They go to explain time travel, finally. After the whole movie of... I don't like... Christopher Nolan does this thing where he'll, like, purposefully make stuff confusing.
Yeah, he does that.
Where it's like, this doesn't need... You actually don't know what you're talking about, and what you've done is made it more confusing than it needs to be. Like, everyone... Like, Inception is not a complex idea.
No.
It's not at all. And he, like, over whatever... So, Tenet, he spends this whole fucking movie being like, yeah, there's time travel, but you're not ready for it. And then finally, they're about to explain it, and the character literally says... Sorry, it's probably just too complicated for you to understand. He literally says that to the other character in the movie. I was watching it with my best friend Colin, actually. And there was one other dude in the movie theater, and he was in like the way front, we were in the way back. And right when that happened, we all three, the dude in the front did too, we all went, what the fuck?
Yeah.
We all threw our hands up.
Because that was the explanation for the whole thing.
Yeah, the explanation was, sorry, you probably just wouldn't understand it.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, you're so lazy, you son of a bitch.
And you know what? I bet he thought that was a smart line. I bet he thought, oh, this is clever. Like, because it's so over their heads that I'm almost poking at the audience, like addressing the third wall type
Yeah,
of
that's
line.
why it annoyed me.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, Tenet, I agree with the, my thing is it either exists or it's parallel, or it either there are parallel dimensions every time you time travel, or it doesn't exist.
Or it doesn't exist.
Because if it existed in
the same continuum, it's all one
because if
thing.
it existed in the same continuum, we would know.
And like, well, have you ever seen the movie Primer? Primer does it like that, where it's like they create a device, but they can only go back to when the device was created, and it's like all about them, like they encounter other versions of themselves and things like this. Primer is one of the best time travel movies I've ever seen, and it's a low budget movie, and it's written by a guy who had like a degree in science, so he knew the implications of time travel.
That's cool.
It's really good. It's one of like that movie, and I think 12 Monkeys, which I still haven't seen. People mention 12 Monkeys a lot.
People mention 12 Monkeys a lot.
Because it's all about what you're talking about, the logic of creating a time machine and how would that work and when can you go back to. You know, there also the other thing about time travel that most people don't consider is if we're talking about the same exact coordinates in the universe, imagine if you time traveled and you just ended up floating in space, because if we're going to the same exact point in the entire universe, Earth is constantly moving all the time. Like, how are you going to make it so your time machine goes to the same exact GPS coordinates on Earth? Because that's important. You don't want to just be anywhere in the universe.
I think if you can start time traveling, you would be able to. I think by that point, you're able to predict.
Hopefully. Like, does time travel obey gravity? That's a good question.
No, I think you would. Oh, I see. I would think that time. Oh, I guess I never considered. A time travel machine might not be able to move through space.
Exactly. That's crazy to think about. Because what if you made it? You did everything, and then you go in and you just fucking die in space. Yeah, that would suck so bad. You got it all right.
I think they would do it like a rocket.
Yeah, or you put a chicken in, and you see if the chicken goes first.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
You don't get in right away.
You thought the first person they'd put in the time machine would be a person?
Maybe.
Well, it's going to be a
Get
dog.
Your dumb friend.
Yeah, it's going to be your dog.
Also, Christopher Nolan, though, that movie, The Prestige. Have you seen that movie?
Yeah, that movie's great.
I really like how they do it.
He's got a lot of good movies that I like a lot. But
with the hats. It reminds me of the hats in that movie. How you're thinking, why is there this big-ass pile of hats? And it turns out he just didn't calibrate his fucking machine right. It was working. It was just all going in the wrong place.
Yeah.
Because I imagine if you could clone things, if you could teleport, if you could time travel, it probably would be a lot more about ending up in the right spot than you would think. Like, what if you just end up in the wrong place?
That's true. Just in the ocean.
Also, teleportation. A lot of people don't think about this. I really think every time you teleport, you'd be killing yourself, and nobody would know. Because I think what would happen is you'd be creating a clone, but your original self would die every time, just like, I mean, spoilers, but just like something else we just talked about, where it's like...
It's funny to make spoilers about a movie that's like, what, 2 decades old at this point?
But the thing is, though, I just watched that movie, and that's kind of like the fucking craziest part. Like, when you see that, you're like, what?
Yeah, that is like the whole thing. Yeah. That's true.
Because dude, that fucking movie's awesome. That's actually, I think it's my favorite Christopher Nolan movie, just because of that. Like, it actually all comes together. That might be
my favorite.
At the end.
I mean, The Dark Knight's pretty.
Dark Knight's good, but it's good in a commercial way. Whereas I feel like The Prestige and Memento are good in a way where it's like, I feel like he was still... Those were passionate. There was still very like artsy, passionate. Yeah. And I think he's gotten away from that over the years. Like he's
become like a blockbuster guy.
Yeah, and guess where it all started? The Dark Knight. Sadly, it was the Batman movies where it all started for him. That's kind of where he really, I mean, that, and then I guess you could say Inception, but Inception was pre-Batman. Yeah. No, that's at least post the first one. Christopher Nolan is funny because I think of his movies like they're made by an alien. Like when speaking of aliens, I think of it like this is somebody who's not a human being making these movies because it's almost like a cold. It reminds me of Stanley Kubrick in the way that it's all kind of cold and calculated and scientific in a way.
Cold
it
science.
feels not human, and they're so expertful and amazing and great. So I'm not saying they're not talented. I'm just saying like it's almost like an alien's interpretation of how a human would make a movie.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like his sound design. What the fuck is that? Like, any Christopher Nolan sound design, and you're talking about, oh well, in real life, things sound like that. No.
Nothing sounds like.
In real life, I hear what people are saying.
Yeah.
In real life, I like to hear what everyone's saying. Dude, there's a moment in fucking Tenet where they're on the boat. You know what I'm talking about? Where they're talking to each other on a boat, and I think like it's actually ridiculous because they're like yelling to each other in the scene. I think we should do this tomorrow. No, let's do it today. But it just sounds like it's like. It's like Christopher Nolan knows at this point, and he's just trying to be funny. Mm-hmm. Like, this is ridiculous.
He's just trying to be a dickhead.
Yeah, I want to know what's happening in the movie.
Yeah, I don't know why.
There's a few examples of that, because that's like a rule you should never break. And there's a few examples of movies doing that, where you can't hear dialogue that you're supposed to hear. And it's actually like a choice that's it's good.
Yeah, I mean, I think it sometimes works. It's like, music lyrics aren't always meant to be understood.
Exactly. And actually, that's something I've tried to get a lot better at with mixing. I mean, I think mixing your own music, it's very... If you mix your own music, especially vocals, but you'll hear this with any band, too, because everybody thinks they're the main instrument. So it's like, oh, turn the drums up, because you're the drummer. But, you know, to everybody else, the drum sounds fine. So I think mixing your own vocals, the instinct is, oh, no one can hear me. And you always want to make your vocals too loud. And it's always like taming that.
That's
and
funny.
Turning it down. Because really, vocals don't need to be that loud.
That's funny because
really
me and
don't.
my lead singer actually have the reverse argument.
You think they need to be louder?
Yeah,
Or-
well, it's my friend Colin, and his thing is he likes vocals that are kind of quiet and behind the music, and he likes really heavily affected stuff and things like that. And I'm always just like, no.
Because you think it's too quiet.
I think he has a good voice, and I think it's a waste of talent to bury it.
Yeah.
And I think when bands pick a specific tone vocally, they really make their vocalist have to be one-dimensional. It's kind of like when a guitarist picks one very specific super heavy tone.
Yep.
And now every single song has to be that. Mm-hmm. And you're kind of like, I mean, that's sick, but I would have rather, like, I am always trying to make my guitarists go as clean as possible. I want to make all of them go from, like, as clean to as heavy as possible, as often as possible.
Yeah.
Because I think it's not only better for the music. I mean, some of the music might be a little bit like discombobulating in that way, but I think it makes for better writing and for better like expression because they know that they have more range.
Yeah.
I just think like you limit yourself. So me and him, I argue with him all the time. I'm like, no, I would like the vocal louder. Like I would like you to be louder. I would like there to be less effects on it. And because also a lot of my drum parts were written to do that.
Yeah. To accentuate the vocals.
Yeah, I wrote like really for a lot of the stuff on this the album we're doing in October is like, it was like poppy.
I see.
Like I did a lot of pop beats. I did a lot of like that stuff, and like the whole album for me, like musically, was really built around like juxtaposition of that into like a super doomy heavy chunk. So it'll be like the first part of it is like maybe heavy, but kind of pop music in my eyes to a degree, and then the second half is like super doomy heavy.
Yeah.
And
it's the contrast between the two.
Yeah.
And you think the vocals are a big part of that.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
think the vocals being loud is really important for the poppy aspect, make it sound clean.
Yeah.
And then I think I want it louder in the doom, because I think it allows you to have like an interesting layer. Doom music can be very like this, but up here.
Yeah.
Because it's so loud and heavy, people don't realize how much of it is very like dynamically flat.
Yeah. Dynamically flat is funny.
You know what I mean, though?
Yeah. It's what is not hyperbole, but when something contradicts itself. That's exactly what it is. Because, dynamically flat. I know exactly what you're saying.
Like an oxymoron.
Oxymoron, yeah. Because normally you have a big flat file for anything that's metal or rock, or nowadays especially because everything's about being loud as fuck. And so it's going to be this big square almost. But to have the vocals sit on it and be big is actually going to add.
Yeah, you can do a little bit more, because now what you can do is, even though you're shifting, because they do have dynamic. Yeah. They try to be dynamic, but it's just like with a certain amount of effects, you can only get so quiet.
Yep. Well, and you want it to be. I mean, when you're talking about something that's like that, it's like it's big the whole time. So it's not like it's not going to be going up and down. It's going to be, and that's going to look like this big square.
Yeah, and then I didn't want to only have the two dynamic be between him singing loud and screaming.
Yeah.
I wanted to have even more dynamic in terms of that.
Yeah.
So I wanted him to actually sing stuff and do things like that. And again, I thought he had a good voice, so I was like, I don't want to waste. Same with my guitarist.
Does he write the lyrics too? Does he do all that? And so he's doing all the songwriting and all of the thoughts for the, like, no one's helping him write the lyrics is what I'm saying.
Yeah, sometimes it'll be like a line or something like that.
But it's mostly him.
Yeah, when we started it, I started it with a good, my guitarist was a bassist in a different band.
Yeah.
And we were working together, and it was with one of his friends, and I was just like, hey, man, his friend was the guitarist and singer. He was playing bass. And I just went up to him one day, and I was like, I'm not trying to be rude, dude, but like, he's just not good enough. And he doesn't practice. So he was the one always showing up late, and also the worst, and also the one that never practiced.
Okay.
So it was like, I mean, I'd be willing to work with a guy that maybe isn't as experienced as me. Because at the time, I'd already been in a professional band for like 3 or 4 years at that point. Like touring 200 days a year, like doing it, you know, with that guy, the older guy I told you about.
Yeah.
And I was just like, and I didn't have a ton of time, and I was like, honestly, man, like, this is kind of a waste of my time.
Yeah.
For this guy to just show up basically to jam, and then also not even be good enough to really hang during the jam is, I was just like, I'd be happy to work with you, but I just don't want to work with this guy anymore. So we left, and I brought in my friend Colin, who's like my best friend, and he's singing. And at first, he was going to come in and like play guitar or synth, and I was like, no. I just want you to worry about singing. We'll deal with all the music. Like, for now, I just want you to worry about singing, because I wanted him to be good at singing.
Yeah.
Because I think he has a good voice, but I know that it takes a lot of experience, and it's really difficult when you're talking about, like, singing live or singing for the studio or whatever. Like, that's a whole thing you have to get used to. And I was like, he could play guitar and bass for now. You know what I mean? Like, he'll figure it out. When we go live, we'll figure it out. But, like... And then we found our bassist.
Okay.
Who's this young, cool kid.
And that's the whole origin story right there. That's how it all lines up. And so, how long ago was that?
A couple of years now.
Okay.
I think we've had Adrian for 2 or 3 years, something like
and
that.
Have you released albums before, or is this the first, like,
we have
big
singles.
Release? Singles, okay. So, like, over the years, you drop singles, and, like, and this is the first big full drop in October.
Yeah, and 2 of the... Well, our thing is we haven't even really done... Even the singles, like, they were fine. We haven't really pushed anything super hard. We were, like, trying to book gigs and stuff like that, and we just realized, like, unless you're going to do the thing of getting really involved in the scene and being a scene kid, you're just not going to get booked if you don't have an album.
Yep. Yeah, or if you don't have, like, some type of guaranteed draws, guaranteed presence.
Guaranteed draw or presence. And even, like, 1 or 2 singles isn't that helpful.
No.
You gotta have, like, a full feature length, or, like you said, a draw and presence.
Yeah,
and
or a connection.
Or a connection. Like I said, be a scene kid.
Yeah.
Know
I see. Yeah, scene kid.
You know what I mean? Like, you actually know the people involved, and, like, you know a bunch of cool metal. All of us are, like, I'm almost 30. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, like, cool punk kids and stuff.
I'll say I just performed at Casa Cafe. You haven't heard of this venue. So that was at my friend's show. It was Gorilla Taco Party. Friend of the podcast, Tim Perez. It was an awesome show. And they normally do metal stuff. So normally it's like a metal type venue. And they were generous in hosting our thing, where it's like we had 2 metal bands, but really it was mostly hip hop and just, whatever, hip hop, comedy, and then the chaos that ensues with Tim's show. So Casa Cafe is a good spot for rock music, for metal music. And it's in the back of a Mexican restaurant.
Oh, really?
So there's you got the Mexican restaurant that people can get food from, people can get drinks, whatever, and then they step back and there they are inside of the venue.
It's called Casa Cafe.
Casa Cafe. You'd like it, yeah. I mean, especially if you're trying to scout out venues for that type of thing. I feel like it would be okay for comedy, but it's not a great room for comedy. You could do it if you're trying to mix the two, because I know you want to do a comedy music show. You could do it, but you're thinking of it with book club's better. Book club's a better spot for comedy and music. Book club actually might be the perfect spot for comedy and music.
That's what I was thinking.
Because I've done that at Surge Billiards, and Surge Billiards, I would say, is a great mid spot. It's all right. It's not anything great. It's not anything bad. I mean, even with comedy, it's not perfect because you got that upper balcony seating situation where it's like, realistically, you just have the bottom and then you have the people standing at the top. So it's not like it's a whole bunch of extra seating up there. I mean, you could fill that room pretty tight, but it's not like a comedy room where it's nice. Everybody's face. It's just you. In my mind, a good small room would be kind of like Red Room, where I think Red Room kind of gets it right. It should be very tight. It should feel like it's just this little tiny square space. No sound is bouncing off going anywhere but to these people right here in front of me. And then if you're going to expand that, just follow those rules. Everybody should be...
I think one of the reasons it works too is what you can do with a comedy music show, especially if you know the music's later.
Yeah.
Is people that don't like comedy can just show up later.
Yep. And people who don't like music can just leave.
Yeah, and what you do is you allow it by having... It also, because of the way it's kind of broken down, you have a little bit more like you can do the kind of those front 2.
Yep.
And just a couple rows up front for the comedy, and then when you move it all, you have like a pretty large space.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's cool.
And that's why any room, I think, that is like a tight room like that, if you could just remove the seating, you're all good. Like Red Room would be perfect if there was a way to get rid of those seats for music. I think then it would actually be perfect.
It would be a cool like punk venue.
Yeah, but you just can't, because the seats I think are like kind of they're the whole fucking room. I'm pretty sure, right? You can't just move them. I think
they're like bolted or something.
yeah. I don't think that's a question. But it would be one of those like nice DIY metal rock venues if you could just move those out the way.
Yeah.
Maybe you'd have to worry about the pictures on the walls a little bit.
Yeah, well, I think you could.
Oh my God, they hit Aziz.
Well, they have a whole bar.
Yeah, and they have a whole bar. I mean, I'm just thinking.
I'm saying you could move the tables and shit out there if you wanted.
Maybe. I just know the capacity for a room jumps up like crazy even when you remove the seats. Like you could go from a 30-person room to a 60 to 70-person room just by having people stand.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So, and that's what's so cool about like if you have a bigger band come to one of these smaller rock venues, it's like holy shit. I saw fucking System of a Down, and not only did I see System of a Down, I saw them in a room with only 60 people in it. Like that would be so much cooler. Be
cool. I mean, those are always like the best show stories.
Exactly. So
right, I got my last question for you.
Oh, your final question, the finale, folks. The finale.
Right. Did you listen to the album?
I listened to a few of the tracks. You sent it to me yesterday, for the record, folks. He sent it to me yesterday.
He's a piece of shit.
If you had sent it to me sooner, I would have been able to hear more of it.
He's a piece of shit.
If you had sent it to me, for the record, because I try to, and I'll say what I heard. It kind of reminded me of like Tool a little bit in the way that it was like slow, progressive, and also even the way, that's why I asked if he wrote it. Because of the songwriting and the way that he was singing, it kind of reminded me of like Maynard James Keenan, and even in like the way that he writes and the way that he performs. It almost seemed Toolish in the approach.
Oh, cool.
So that was at least the idea, the vibe I was getting from it. Also the fact that it was like an 8-minute song, a 7-minute song. I was like, all right, yeah, I get it. I see what's happening here.
I know. I was thinking about that at that mic last night because they do like 5-minute songs. I was like, we literally couldn't play one of our songs.
Yeah, right. You'd have to do a
we literally
version.
don't have a single song we could play.
There's nothing.
Yeah, there's nothing we could play. What was the
That's really funny. Everything is 7 minutes.
Yeah, like there was nothing that could last the 5 minutes. I was like, shit.
Fucking hilarious. Because, like, I mean, most bands at least have one.
I don't think we have a single one. I think the last song is like 6 minutes, 7, and we could cut off like half of it.
Yeah, I was gonna say if you could shave anything off just for the opportunity of presenting it in the right place, right? Like some place are only gonna give you 5 minutes, so maybe just have a song or two.
The last one's called "I Kill Poor People."
You know what's a good idea? Maybe even do like a medley between like "I Kill Poor People" and another one. Like just find a way to do half of this one, and just kind of do a little crossover. That's always a fun way to do it too. Like whenever I do a music set, I'm always trying to think of like I don't want it to sound like a medley, but I'm always trying to think, how can I cram as much as possible into whatever they're giving me? Like, how do I find a way to present myself in that shows like, I can do this, I can do this.
Yeah, I Kill Poor People. The reason it's called, it was the most, we were trying to come up with the most on the nose. So the lyrics are like, shake it. What the chorus is shaking babies, kissing hands. And it's like a business guy. It literally ends with like the on a gun, because I was like, let's just make the most on the nose. Like there's nothing, there's no nuance to this song at all.
Yeah, it
is just hey, what do you think this song is about? Exactly what you think it's about. It is about eating poor people. It was about class warfare. And yeah, and I remember we were telling our producer kind of about the ideas. Swift Road Studios, by the way, Vince rules. He rules. He's a really great musician, and he's a really kick-ass producer. But maybe I shouldn't have given his name out there. The only problem with him is he's busy all the time.
Yeah, he's a busy guy.
Yeah. But we were sitting there, and he was like, "Do you guys want like a gun sound?" At the end, and we were like, "Yeah, I guess." And he was like, "Do you want the cock in the shot?" And we were like, "No, do like a," and then drop the bullet sound, like it clinking. And he went home, I guess, and like set up a wood block and recorded himself like, and then dropping out of his gun.
Yeah.
So the end of the album ends with his gun cocking and then dropping bullets.
That's a real sound.
Wow.
Yeah. And that's the final song in the album?
Yeah.
Nice.
Which I thought was fun. I wanted to end it kind of, I don't know, I think, and they felt the same way. I just think that sometimes, again, with like the pigeonholing yourself, like a band gets a really specific sound and a really specific identity, and that's what they are.
Yeah.
Like we even did that with our art. We had like one artist who was our bassist friend. They did great work. And then we're going to have like 2 others just on this first album.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I don't want to have a Dropship and we play doom metal. So it's like, of course, the obvious imagery is like spaceships on Mars.
Yeah.
It's like, that's cool. We can do that. But I also want to have like dragons. And I also want to have like trees and elves and normal people and penguins and like whatever it is.
Well, and I like the idea of not pigeonholing yourself, because it's like
is it pigeonhole?
Yeah, it's pigeonholed. It's pigeonhole.
That makes way more sense.
You saying pigeonholding?
I think I was saying pigeonholding.
Like you're holding a pigeon.
Yeah, like you're holding
trying to escape.
Yeah, it can't get away. You're holding the
almost
pigeon.
like that more. Like you're just a pigeon trying to be free.
Yeah, you're holding the pigeon.
But people do that where it's like, people do that in all sorts of ways. I mean, I say...
And they do it to themselves, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, and
I think a lot of the times they do it to themselves.
Yeah.
They pick this really specific style, and I get it. It's easier to write songs you've already written.
Yeah,
like,
but with music, it's like, I mean, with rap, I'll see this a lot, where you'll see rappers who find a sound that they think is their thing, and then they just try to keep doing that. And it's like, your opportunity is to try. Your voice is an instrument, and you can do all sorts of things. Like there's no rules to this. That's what's so cool about hip hop, and just that it's limitless. You just have this beat, and it's up to you and your creativity to show me what you can do. And there's been so many times where it's like, the thing I did with my voice that was spontaneous or that I figured out. That's the thing that made it cool. It wasn't even the words. It was like the way it's performed. And it's that type of thing where if you're not chasing creativity, you're not trying to branch out and try something different, you just won't do that stuff, and you won't even know that you're capable of that stuff.
Yeah.
And sometimes that stuff, like even with vocal layers, right? It's like you could have a main vocal where you're singing and it's just like, you know, I'm doing great, everything's going good, and that's the word, right? And then you could have like, what I always do is I'll have like a high pitched one, so it'll be like, I'm doing great, everything is going good, kind of like an Elmo thing almost, right? Because if you throw that way up in the just for just add texture, you throw that in there, and you do like a I'm doing great, everything is going good, you throw that in there too. And then the fun part is if you can think of some type of like harmony or some type of different thing, like I'm doing great, everything is going good, and then layer that in there, now you really got something. Because once you start combining that shit and really getting creative, that's when you'll have this brand new thing that nobody else is going to do any of that shit.
Yeah,
that was your creativity that came up with that. So I think it's always following your whatever you think this song needs. It's not about trying to appeal to an image. It's what is this song right here, right now.
And I also don't think it's necessarily wrong to like have an idea in mind of what you're trying to like reach towards either.
Like vision is important for sure.
Yeah, but I just think that like, I don't know, people really, so part of that was seriousness, the pigeonholing, right? Like, of course, sonically and all that kind of stuff, but then also I think a lot of bands put themselves in a position where just like everything is so serious, which is like, that's cool, and you don't necessarily want to go to the extreme, but like, you know, Blink-182 always did that. A lot of the like pop punk bands always did that, where it was like, and I don't want to be that, not that, you know, shout out Blink-182 fucking rules, but like, you know, there's something cool about being able to like, all right, just one of our songs is about going on a date and a girl telling us we're lame, and then the next song's like a super serious song. And you can laugh at the one that's funny and take the one that's serious. And like, so just kind of dipping the toes in that, but
and I think like that duality, like to me in my brain, I'm always thinking like, what's the type of song I haven't done before? Like, what would be a fun song to try that I haven't done? And I like that. I think that's fun. Like, I mean, I only have one good weed anthem, and that makes me sad. I need more Ruse weed anthems. Because to me, that's such a fun genre of music that I don't really dive into much. It's like just the whole weed genre.
Yeah, you should do that.
420 music.
I just started learning double pedal.
Oh, and I bet that's a trip, man.
Well, because I'd always wanted to, but the thing is, I always said, like, I think there are musicians and then artists who do art. So, like, there are people who will sit and there are people who just play music, and there are people who use music as a means of expression and like of creating a thing, right? So most drummers, not most, but a lot of really good drummers are musicians where it's like they just love banging the kit and they like making up beats and all of this shit. I don't really like that. I kind of drum as a means to write songs.
Yeah.
Because I don't play guitar, and I'm not really interested in doing that.
I guess like one is the end itself, and one is the means to it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's a means to an end, really. And so like whenever I try to sit down and play doubles, I would just be like, I don't really care.
Yeah.
But now that I'm like writing stuff that requires it, it's much more interesting to me because I have ideas going and things like that. And that's not necessarily good. Part of that is like I should have some hold myself accountability and stuff. And
yeah, but the doubles is probably a good way for you to at least like give you something new to try, so it makes you want to do it more.
I've been enjoying it a lot.
Because I mean, like, for those that don't know, you're talking about double bass, so it's just like rather than kicking with one foot, he's going. I mean, obviously, it's a whole different. I always think about it like you got to be able to multitask in your brain a different way, because it's just you're not. I mean.
It's especially weird because I do a lot of hi-hat.
I was about to say, you're already using the left foot for the hi-hat.
But it's reversed.
Yeah.
Because a lot of hi-hat strokes, at least the way I do it, is I'll do open hi-hat.
Yeah.
So it's actually the reverse, because the way you would do an accent on a hi-hat is by lifting your foot up.
So your brain's going backwards.
So now I have to get used to putting my foot down. So like a good example would be like if I was doing a roll, like a tutu, tutu. Like I used to do kuksh, kuksh, which is the reverse because it's literally gonka, gonka.
Yeah.
Bass, open hi-hat, close. Gonk, gong, right? So it goes boom, gong. But now it's got to go do. So it's just the fun, but it's not as difficult as I anticipated. It's more fun.
Well, and then once you get great at it, you can combine the two and start doing both. And I mean, it's. I think it's like one thing I've always liked about comedy that's not as existent in music. It's just built into the structure. Is this old idea of throwing away old material? This idea of nothing's ever finished. You're always trying to improve things. In music, you can just write a song and you can say it's done, and you can record it and you can say it's done. Whereas I feel like comedy, that's almost frowned upon. Like when a joke is finished, yeah, it's finished, but is it really? Like there's always a little bit of room for improvement always. And I think as a music, and it forces you to be creative. It forces you to throw shit at the wall and try new things. And as a musician, you're not backed into a corner like that.
No, you're not. I think it's pretty easy to. I mean, the biggest problem with music is I'm trying to make it look like you cut, and then you cut back in here. And I go, whoa, you want to keep all that stuff about what you said about the Jews?
Yeah, every single part. Every single part.
Whoa, that's
and let me add.
Make it look like I cut right there. And I was like, and you know the worst part about music?
I like that idea. Can we cut there and then we cut
back
to
into me going, you sure you want to keep all that about what you said about
Dude, I want to
Jews?
keep every single bit. I want to keep every single bit of it.
That was crazy,
and not only do I want to keep it, I want to make that the title of the episode. I think we should just go all in on that. What you said about the Jews? Yeah. Specifically, the main thing I said.
I know what you did last Hanukkah.
You know, that's too, because every time I keep coming up with sketch ideas on the show, and I got to start writing them down and actually doing them. Because this one we have two now. I'd say I know what you did last Hanukkah is really good. That's a sketch idea for sure. You just get a bunch of like Jewish people, and it's the movie
in a Jewish community center.
And it's just the movie in a Jewish community.
Yeah, it's center. Like a vampire movie.
And then second. Baby Hitler. I think a really funny concept for a sketch is like you realize a kid is Baby Hitler,
it's Boss Baby,
and you
but
have
with
to
Hitler.
kill him. But it's what makes the sketch funny? It has to be undeniable that this kid is Baby Hitler. It's like we all know what Baby Hitler might look like, but it's like this kid literally has the Hitler sash, and he's literally
saying
Hitler.
someone brings up Jews and he just starts crying. Yeah. You're like, hold up a second.
I like just like a series of scenes where the guy slowly realizes.
Maybe just like playing with trains, like putting
Barbies inside.
Putting Barbies inside the trains.
It's like, that can't
like,
be good.
Whoa, dude, what the heck?
What is he doing?
Yeah.
You know, he starts throwing all the Barbies in a ditch.
He's got a very neat collar for a second grader. He's got a perfectly starched collar.
He walks very erect.
Yeah.
There's a lot of red flags. And so it would also be like,
thank you.
I think we need a proper representation of this moral dilemma. You know, we talked about Baby Hitler, but have we ever seen anybody really represent Baby Hitler? I don't think so. So there's that there. That's a good idea. But I feel like we've done it all. I feel like it's been a glorious episode here today of Ruse Radio. I had a deal. I sell cars. Ooh.
And I've sold like one this month.
You sold a car this month.
And then my guy kind of did a half deal.
Are we talking like, what kind of car are we talking about?
I sell Volkswagens.
Volkswagens.
Which, it's fun. But a guy I've been working with, like, I've been working with him for like a while, and he had to come in today, and I had one of my coworkers take care of him. And I was like, I'll give you like $40 or whatever if it wasn't a big deal. And then... anyways, he took care of it for me. It's cool. I'm going to have to give him $100, but it's not as big of a deal.
Is Volkswagen a buggy?
They have the bug. But anyways, this guy the other day was like 3 hours late.
Oh.
And I was like, dude, I've never been late. That's crazy. Like, I've never been that late to something. That's insane. No call, no show. And he shows up and he's saying it, and I'm kind of mad the whole time. And he just goes, sorry, man. I got pulled over and racially profiled. That's why I'm late. And I was like, no, I'm sorry, man. But then as he left, I was like, I thought about it, and I was like, I'll never know.
if that's true or not.
I'll never know. I believe him. It's not that I don't believe him, but I was like, that is a fucking great move.
Yeah, the moment I heard that, I would have been suspicious. Because I would have been like, that's like the perfect move. That's why I would be suspicious.
Because I can't be like, really? Like, that's insane. I can't be like, oh yeah. But I just thought it was fucked up because I didn't know the Polish were getting racially profiled.
Yeah, right. What's going on with you guys, man? First the Irish, now you.
And that's a bit I've been working on.
Well, because that is funny because it makes me think of like how people.
And that's a joke.
It makes me think about how people were racist against the Irish people. Like, you know, it makes me think, how does that even work? If you're racist against white people, like that used to be a thing. I don't even know if I can tell Irish people apart. If I'm being honest with you, I don't even know if it was a group of whites, and I'm white. I don't know if I could tell you which of them is the Irish guy and which of them isn't, and that might be on me. But I'm just kind of impressed that for a long time we were even able to. Like, that's how I know that's a joke. Because I don't think I could pick out a Polish guy from a group of other white guys.
Yeah, I have no idea. Same with the Irish. Other than, like, their voice, you would never know.
So how are they discriminated against so well? How do we even pull that off?
People used to have sharper eyes.
Yeah, we just got worse. We just got more racially ambiguous over time.
Just slowly, more and more, we're all turning into Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, it's a melting pot. We'll all be Indian within 100 years or whatever it is.
No, I think future humans will pretty much look like Patrick Mahomes.
All of us.
Yeah.
Every single one.
Yeah, I do.
I'm kind of excited to have curly hair. I've been waiting to be able to grow an afro for a long time. At least like maybe my son, maybe my grandson, maybe my great-grandson. There's no afros in my family so far, but we'll get there. That's kind of like, that's my goal when it comes to colonization. Can we just get afros
marry yourself a nice Jewess.
Yeah, you're right. It doesn't take very many steps to get to my goal. Or a black lady.
Boom, done.
I need a queen. That's what I need. I need a queen.
Dude, hell yeah, that would be so sick. I was, dude, again, I was at that show last night with all the fucking cool young kids.
Yeah.
And at one point I like turned to my right and I'm like in my work shirt, gross and sweaty. I'd gone there to do a set. I didn't know it was going to be so cool, all cool and hip. And I turned to my right and there's just like this beautiful black lady. And I was like, I think I have to leave. Like, with like cool piercings. And then she went up and like did a poem, like spoken word poem. I was like, I think I got to get the fuck out of here. I was so happy I didn't get pulled by the end of the night. It's the only time I've ever been happy at a mic I didn't get pulled because I was like, dude, they're going to be so mad if I
just... don't know. He was at a music open. It was like music and poetry.
Yeah, it's just like... Oh.
Which is probably one of the worst places you can do stand-up comedy. Yeah, I really think that's so funny.
Specifically, the joke I'm working on right now is like not the nicest.
You just go up and, hey guys, I'm a fucking loser. And I just wanted to tell you.
Well, like, one of the main joke I'm working on is basically about like, it's a Jew joke.
Yeah, like, maybe that's like not the room.
And then I had another one that's a black guy joke about Bowser. And I was like, the joke's like, I know Bowser's black because two Italian guys are constantly trying to beat the shit out of him.
Ooh, that's a good one.
And I was like, I was going to do, and then I have like some other stuff to that. But I was like, they're going to hate that.
Yeah.
This place is going to hate that.
Yeah, that probably wouldn't work in that room. Yeah.
But we'll see.
Not in the slam poetry room. No. You don't do the Bowser black guy joke in the slam poetry room. And I got to say, dude,
and this is going to sound mean, but it's just the truth. I wrote a better poem than that lady, like drunk in Puerto Rico, like 3 weeks ago with my brothers. Yeah. I was with my brothers and like had the inkling to write a poem, and I wrote one better than that slam poetry.
I'll say
I was like, this isn't good.
Yeah. Open mics are great, but I actually think the standard is higher at comedy open mics. It's actually kind of scary at comedy open mics. You show up and like, yeah, there's people that suck and anybody can go up, but there's people who are actually pretty good. And I think a music open mic, I think you can get away with a lot. It kind of all goes back to that whole thing we were talking about before. I think you could. It's more about schmucking around and supporting each other and shaking hands. You can, as long as you're a nice guy and you shake hands and you schmuck around, they'll support your terrible slam poetry. Yeah, well, but in comedy, they'll just look at you like you're weird.
Well, and music, what's funny is, to what we were talking about earlier, like where comics, you're almost more integrated with other comics.
Yeah, yep.
But, in terms of collaborating, like actually collaborating, music, obviously you collaborate more.
Yeah,
on comedy, you don't like collaborate.
You're right. Yeah, you collaborate on shows, but that's it. Like it's more like you employ each other.
And you might be like helping each other with a joke or whatever, but you're not like on an album together.
You're not actively creating a project together.
Yeah. And so that's the other part of it too. So that's again why musicians are like, because they can tend to be. I don't think all of it's from a negative place,
but it's internal.
Yeah, I think for a lot of them it comes from a good place, but that is what they're doing.
And that thing about living in their own world, I think musicians do it more than comics. They really are in their world.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
they have to be.
And that's not a negative. It's almost a positive.
Yeah,
because it makes their music that world.
Yeah,
and if they step out of that world, their music might actually lose something.
Yeah,
they got to be careful.
My friend Colin, I always make fun of him. I love him. He's my best friend, and he's the singer in my band. And so I remember one time we were like going in to see the lyrics, and our producer was like, "All right, you guys know the lyrics?" I was like, "No, I got to get them printed out." He was like, "You don't know the lyrics?" I was like, "No, I knew I'd make fun of Colin." I was like, I knew they were cool and they're probably artsy, but I also knew I was just gonna call them gay, like if I heard the lyrics. So you can't let me hear them too early. And Colin was like, "Yeah, that seems about right." And we were doing a different podcast, like as a band, and the guy asked something about Dante's Inferno, and there's actually some imagery like throughout some of the songs with it.
Yeah.
And he says something about Dante's Inferno, and I just went, "Well, let's ask our resident douchebag." And so the whole thing is like he's an artistic guy. The other guys in the band are very like artistic, creative, sincere guys.
Yeah.
And so I do think it creates a good
balance
because I'm very serious about the music. I'm very serious about music. But anything else, like in terms of like our image or the art we use, I'm busted balls, and I think I'm helping us. I'm trying to, or I'm not trying to. I'm gonna do that.
Yeah.
But I do think it helps keep us a little bit out of our own asses.
Yeah.
Like I think it helps a little bit because I think it's really easy to like, all of our songs are 7 minutes. It's like it's very easy to do that. And just immediately get like douchey about it, and then like you go to a band and you listen and you're like, "These guys kind of suck," and I'll be like, "We suck, right?" Like, let's like keep everything in check a little bit, and then they keep me, because I am so inclined to immediately like undermine things with humor. They're good about, Colin especially is really good about being like, "No, this is like, we're serious now."
Yeah.
So like, tell us what you seriously believe. I was like, "Oh, okay, sorry."
Right. That is good. Yeah, especially because, comedy brain and all that. Yeah.
Yeah, the whole time I'm just like making stuff up, trying to bust balls, and then he'll be like, "All right, Ryder, I know what you're going to say."
Yeah.
But like, we actually need to, like, we were doing something about like some piece of art, and I was like, "Whatever, douche," like to him, and he was like, "All right, dude, I get it, but like I actually need to know what you think."
Yeah.
I think it was about like the outfit for before a gig.
Yeah.
What are we gonna wear?
Yeah.
And I was like, "Whatever you want, homo." And he was like, "Well, we're putting on a performance. Like, let's maybe like consider at least a little bit."
Sounds like babysitting.
Yeah. And then I was like, "Yeah, you're right. Okay, my bad." You know what I mean? It's like, okay, I yes. That is true.
Because I mean, like, and
sincerity isn't a bad thing, but I think for comics it is.
When I think
so my knee jerk is always to avoid it, but being a musician, you
and a comedian, that can become, anytime you need to be authentic, that can become a big
it's a pitfall for sure.
Yeah, because it's just something that your natural instinct is to inject humor into everything, and so it almost feels like you're naked if you're being authentic. Like, oh, this isn't allowed. Like, this isn't funny. There's nothing good about this. Who would enjoy this? That's like what's going through the comic's mind. Like, who would enjoy seeing me like this? No one.
That's why I started like bringing up the music.
Yeah.
Because I was like, it's like I told you earlier, where I was like, I try to exist in both worlds.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I'm not being very funny. Like, it's time to bring up the.
Well, I feel bad because you'll see doing something like this. You'll see comics do it all sorts of ways. Some comics will come in, they're not on at all. They're just being themselves. They're just talking. Other ones you can tell they're trying to be funny. And sometimes it's harder when you're trying to be funny.
For sure.
Like, well, I mean, harder in the sense that it makes my job even harder because now I can see, like, unless they're really good at it, they're not like an expert at dancing around it. Like, they've just seen comics do podcasts and they're trying to do that thing. So it almost creates this weird awkwardness where it's like we're not both on the same page, I'll see, because I'm just trying to talk. And I think like when people talk about, oh, Joe Rogan doesn't get jokes, I actually think it's more so what I'm talking about, where it's like he actually does get a lot of the jokes. He's just trying to have a conversation,
well,
and he'll railroad what people say because he's not trying to do bits 24/7.
Yeah, well, and also we've been going for almost 3 hours.
Yeah,
like almost 4 hours.
Kind of hard to do bits for 4 hours.
Yeah, and like if you're just on the whole time, and I know not all of yours are that long.
No, but people will do that, and
a substantial portion of them are like 3+ hours.
And I'll tell you, it's harder when somebody's on. It's harder to carry a long podcast.
Yeah, because you can't. I mean, because with jokes.
And for me, even if I'm not on and they're on, it's harder for me because then I have to kind of like support them.
You have to spend more time kind of filling space.
Yeah, and I feel like I have to play back, and it's gonna be. And I almost kind of just want to. Like, it'd be easier if we just talk. But if we're trying to be funny, well, now I gotta try to be funny, and I'm playing.
Which I'm down to try and be funny usually too, but like.
Well, and it's funny. I've even had people come on. My friend Marcos, he came on 3 times now, and after the second time, he came up to me drunk once, and he's like, "Hey, man, like." I've watched your episodes with other people, and like, can we just kick it next time? Because I feel like every time I come on, we're so serious. And I realized, like, oh, it was up to us to set that stage because we didn't establish those grounds. So both times he was like following my lead, and I was just kind of being serious and just having a normal, like, doing what I do. And each time he was probably thinking deep down, like, damn, I'm not even being funny right now.
Oh yeah.
And I didn't even, this was an internal struggle for him.
Yeah.
And so the third time, it finally, like, we took the lid off, we popped all that tension out, and it was just us hanging out. And it's just funny to me how, like, that I didn't even realize that's happening. Like, but it's because comics will create this thing in their mind of what the show is supposed to be and what they want to be.
And if you don't know someone.
Then
it's kind of back to like the comedy question of like, of course you're going to wind up falling into the.
Because that's what I know about you.
Yeah. Oh, I know you do comedy. Okay, these are the things I know about comedy. What do you think about this? What do you think about that?
And the thing is, like, I always follow people's lead.
I mean,
I
you
don't
could have
even
listened to the album.
You motherfucker, you sent it to me yesterday. I always feel like people were gonna, if they really want to talk about something other than comedy, they'll tell me what it is.
Yeah.
Like, they will tell me. So, like, I think the only way that gets fucked up is if you show up thinking I'm gonna have a bunch of interview questions and you just don't get that. That's the only way that goes wrong, because and I've had that happen a couple of times. I can just tell they thought I was going to do more of an interview because they're almost kind of a little silent.
Or they thought it was going to be at least you like taking the lead.
Yeah, and like they just didn't realize what it was. But like that's like I'll say when I had Sam Miller on. Like, Sam Miller's a comic. He came to Chicago. He like sold out Zanies when he came back recently. He got bigger here, but he's not from here. He's from Olympia, Washington. And it was like his set at one of these pop-up shows. It's like one of the underground type of shows. I forget which one it is. Not Don't Tell, but it's the other one. And so he did that. Humboldt Jungle, that's what it was. He did that show. It did great. And he came back to Chicago. He sold out. And so I remember when I'm having him on, you know, I kind of just found out about him a couple of days ago. So I look up his stuff and all that. And I wasn't even thinking about that when I'm talking to him. I'm just thinking like, oh, here he is in front of me. I'm going to talk to him about his sold out show yesterday. Naturally, the conversation flows into comedy. And I remember him saying like during the conversation, like, you know, oh, normally I don't like talking about like comedy on these podcasts. And I'm thinking like, but I only brought that up because you sold out a show yesterday, and it's naturally what we're like. I could have talked to you about anything, but people just it's just the idea that's floating in the air that I'm grabbing onto. That's all I'm doing. But people think that it's something else.
And also, it's one of those things where it's like, I get that. I do get that idea with a lot of comics.
Because I wouldn't want to talk to a comedian only about comedy. I think it's boring.
But also, that's why you're here.
Yeah.
So one of those things is it's like, as someone, okay, it's kind of like the guys who are like, oh, I hate talking about comedy like that. It's like, all right, well then now it's your job.
Yeah.
Like you gotta kind of
steer me somewhere else.
Steer it somewhere
I'll
else.
talk
man.
about
It's
anything else.
Yeah.
Exactly, because literally all they gotta do is pivot. That's the politics 101. Just take the question I said and pivot and go somewhere else.
You could have made it funny. You could have been like, hey, check this out.
Exactly. And you would have got my ass.
You could have had a notebook full of fake questions. There's no questions in there.
Oh, I love that, dude, because I believed you. I believed you 100%. I fell for that one for real. All right, well, at the end of the show, we always do two things, very ceremonious. The show's obviously for 3 to 5-year-olds. That's my core audience, is the children. It's the kids. They're going to get off the school bus, and they're going to take off their AirPods. They're going to enter reality. They're going to touch grass, and so it's up to us to present them with a piece of advice, a nugget of knowledge that's contained within our brain. I'm not going to give it to them. You are. You know what the advice is. I don't. So you give that to the kids. And also, 2, the social medias where people can find you. They spent all this time with you. They might as well spend a little bit more. Comes out roughly a month from now. So if you're trying to plug any dates, just keep that in mind. A bing, bam, boom. The floor is yours.
So advice?
Advice for the kids.
For the kiddos? If other people respect your parents, then you should probably listen to them as well.
That's a solid one. If other people respect your parents.
Yeah. Because that's usually a good indication that your parents deserve.
And if other people don't respect your parents, vice versa.
Sometimes there's exceptions. That's not a very good. Let me find better advice.
That's at the top of the mind. Give him a chance.
Don't. It's not as hard as they say.
Oh, that's a good one too. I
think people like are constantly like, it's so hard. Like comics, I hate it. They're like, it's so hard to be a comic. I'm like, it's fun. You get fucked up and you hang out with your friends, and then even if you're sober, you still get to hang out with cool people. Like, it's fun.
Yeah.
Being a musician is the same thing. People are like, it's so hard. It's like, no, it's not. It's fun.
Yeah. And isn't it a blessing that you get to go up there and do what you want? Isn't that awesome?
I don't even mean like I just
mean like it's not hard. Like that's
my point.
Awesome.
Is that it's
there's nothing hard about that. You get time, go up there and use your time, and that's a freedom and a blessing. It's awesome. I think that's the easiest thing in the world.
My point is I think with all that stuff, music, comedy, those are the 2 I have experience with. But like,
I think people create barriers
and they mystify it.
And
people want it to be like mysterious and interesting, like comedy. They're always like, yeah, it's so hard to go up there and bomb. It's like it's not.
Yeah,
it's like actually not that bad.
Yeah, and
I mean, it's like in the first couple times, yeah, it's really awful, but like it's not that big of a deal. Like if you start bombing in like a big room, that can be pretty rough. But
even then, you wake up the next day and the world is the same.
Yeah, and with music, I'm always just like, do it.
Mm-hmm.
I know so many people who it's like you're, not to sound corny, but and not even just like do it. It's like, it shouldn't be hard. It isn't hard.
No.
It isn't hard.
No.
You're convincing yourself it's hard. I think people do that with their jobs all the time.
They convince themselves it's harder
than it is. It's so much harder than it is.
Yeah.
I'm a car salesman, and I'm not great at it, but it's not hard, dude. It's not hard. And everybody was like, oh, you're going to hate that job. It's going to be terrible. It's like, it's not that terrible.
Yeah.
Everybody, when I went to music was like, that's going to be so hard. It wasn't hard. Everybody in music, when I went back to like working in the corporate world as a car salesman, were like, you're going to want to kill yourself. It's going to be so... It wasn't. It's fine.
Hey, keep talking to the kids. I'm going to pee real quick. You're talking to the kids now.
Well, no. It's just my socials, and then... It's all right. It's just my socials, and then we're done.
Stall for me.
Okay. Yeah, I think that as long as you don't make it harder on yourself, it's definitely doable. Now, doable with like money and things might be difficult. If that's something that makes things more difficult for you, then yes, it's probably more difficult. And also not having rich parents makes it pretty difficult. So, I mean, you might want to give up on your dreams if you're poor. It's basically because that's going to be a lot of work. That's going to be pretty hard.
I thought I could do it. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Oh, did you tell them your social medias or were you saying other stuff?
Other stuff. My socials. Sorry to end on a down note, kids. I basically said, you'll hear it.
Yeah, I'll find out later. I always like to see what people say when I go to the bathroom.
It's Ryder Olle on RYDEROLLE on Instagram, or check out my band Dropship. The Instagram's Dropship Doom. We have some shows coming up. We have the album in October, which we're super duper excited about. And then after that, we're probably just going to be doing shows and putting out singles every couple months. We wanted to have the big album and then do the singles. A lot of people say, like, do the singles all up to the album. And we were like, let's do the CP. Well, also, we wanted to burn it and be, like, done with that sound.
Right. I mean, usually people do singles as a promotional thing for the album. That's usually, like, the idea.
That's what we did. We took, like, 2 of the songs and made them singles.
Yeah, but you're doing them after, though.
No. We did them before. They're out.
Oh, I thought you were saying you're dropping the singles after the album. You're saying
we're gonna start doing that. Like, we're working on singles right now that are gonna be for after the album.
Like, completely different sound, completely different everything.
No, not necessarily. Just like, I don't know. I think I wanted to get in there, get some experience. The guys to get some experience. I wanted to get something big out, like you said, kind of proof of concept.
Yeah.
For booking, and then start putting out singles.
Yeah.
Kind of inverted a little bit, but
just so that way people see a big body of work.
Yeah, so there's a big body of work, and also, again, just to, like, have it done. When we went in, it was going to be 3 songs.
Yeah.
And then we were like, well, we're going to release 2 of them as singles. Like, 2 of the singles, the 2 singles are going to be on the album.
Uh-huh.
And then we were like, well, it was going to be 4 songs, and then we were like, well, let's just make it 5. And then we were like, well, at 5, you might as well just make it 6 and make it a full length. You know, especially since the songs are 8 minutes long. It was like, let's just add 1 song, and now we're at a full length album.
Went from 20 minutes to an hour and 20 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, thanks, man.
All right,
thanks for having me.
Thank you for being here. That has been all, folks, here today on The One, The Only. Out.
Double down, competition couldn't help him to rock. Missed the whole time, holy fell through the flock. That's an ordinary miracle, wealth to the block. It's a balance in the character that's calm and collect. It's apparent his caricature is lost in the mess. It's